as determined by the building commissioner. Number 6, the applicant shall see the engineering division for address assignment for the new building prior to applying for the building permit. Upon completion of construction, the applicant shall post the address for this building per section 99-1 of the town code. And last, number 7, pursuant to section 240-12.2 of the zoning bylaw, this site plan review decision shall lapse 3 years from the date it is granted if substantial use thereof has not sooner commenced except for good cause. The determination of good cause shall be made by the planning board.
Second.
Any discussion? I have a note here from, I meeting with the town planner this afternoon. It says you're also going to provide a certified calculations after the project is completed. Okay.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. I want to make everyone aware that we're being filmed for television and also
FCTV.
FCTV. Okay. Thank you. Okay, next applicant, Phil Westling, site plan review application to construct a 30-foot by 60-foot addition to an existing 2,500 square foot research and development building at 19 Research Drive. Mr. Westling here. Someone for Mr. Westling?
Good evening, for the River Valley Survey from Cape Analysis Engineering. Don't see that the applicant is here, but this hearing was first heard 2 weeks ago, and I believe there was going to be a draft order for permit to be reviewed. We did respond to the comments to the planning department. And if there's any questions, I'll try to answer.
The drainage calculations were updated.
Yep.
Correct. Yes. And we do have the draft motion. So, John, would you read that for us, please?
Sure. Motion that the planning board votes to approve the application of Philip Westling for an 1,800 square foot warehouse and storage building at 19 Research Road under section 240-12.2 site plan review of the zoning bylaw with the following findings and conditions. Findings: the applicant proposes to construct a new 30 by 60, which is an 1,800 square foot warehousing and storage building connected to the existing 2,500 square foot building by a 10 by 8 breezeway. The board finds that the 7-space parking reduction request is in line with the purpose and intent of the zoning bylaw and will not have adverse effects which overbalance its beneficial effects on either the neighborhood or the town. Next page. The applicant is proposing to collect and contain all new stormwater generated by the additional building by installing 2 600-gallon precast leaching pits. The drainage calculations submitted with the application indicate that the leaching pits are adequately sized to handle the anticipated stormwater. The applicant requested a waiver from the requirement to submit a landscaping plan with this application. The board unanimously approved the request as the requirement would create an undue hardship on the applicant due to the size and nature of the proposed development and because it would not be in the public interest. The Town of Falmouth departments have reviewed and commented on the above-mentioned application, and the planning board finds that the applicant has adequately addressed the comments. The planning board's review does not include building code and zoning review, and the board defers that to the building commissioner. The board finds that the information provided by the applicant conforms to all the requirements of section 240-12.2 of the zoning bylaw. Conditions, number 1, the plan shall be constructed as approved. Any changes shall be reviewed by the planning board to determine if a modification of this decision is necessary. Next page. Number 2, the project must not cause erosion to or sedimentation into abutting properties or direct any stormwater runoff to public property, abutters, or public right-of-way. Number 3, any connections or alterations to public utilities would require permission from the appropriate town department. Number 4, construction of this project shall follow the town's soil erosion and sediment control standard conditions document, which can be found on the engineering division's page of the town's website. 5, the project shall meet all applicable standards set forth in the building code as determined by the building commissioner. 6, the applicant shall see the engineering division for address assignment for the new building prior to applying for a building permit. Upon completion of construction, the applicant shall post the address for this building per section 99-1 of the town code. And lastly, number 7, pursuant to section 240-12.2 of the zoning bylaw, this site plan review decision shall lapse 3 years from the date it is granted if substantial use thereof has not sooner commenced except for good cause. The determination of good cause shall be made by the planning board.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Next we have the applicant is Cape Cod Aggregates Corporation, site plan review application to construct a contractor's yard consisting of 2 proposed buildings and associated parking. A 3,990 square foot building intended for contractor days, and a 5,400 square foot building to include a scale house, garage, and accessory office use at 0 Thomas B. Landers Road. And for the applicant.
Good evening again, Mr. Chair, members of the board. For the record, Kevin Clower, and I am before you this evening representing Cape Cod Aggregates, the owners of 0 Thomas B. Landers Road. I'm joined tonight again by Dave Peterson of Cape Cod Aggregates, as well as Raul Lazardi of Cape Islands Engineering. So we initially presented this matter to the board about 2 weeks ago. However, we had just received the engineering referral that afternoon, and the staff report shortly before. So we've used the intervening time to review and respond to the engineering referral and to submit revised plans to the planning staff, which included updated site plans, landscaping plans, a site distance plan, and a lighting photometric plan. In addition, some written correspondence regarding the engineering comments was provided, as well as an analysis of development impact. So, as a brief review, this site is 7.37 acres, located in the AGA district on Thomas B. Landers Road. This particular property is bordered by Blacksmith Shop Farm to the south, by the landfill and the solar array there to the southwest, by an industrial parcel also owned by Cape Cod Aggregates to the west, and to the north by Thomas B. Landers Road, and on the other side of that, another Cape Cod Aggregates property. As we've noted, this is a proposed contractor's yard with 2 industrial buildings for use as industrial storage, as a contractor does, and office space. The proposal will result in coverage by structure of 3%, where 20% is allowed by right, and it will result in lot coverage by structures, paving, and parking of 15%, where 40% is allowed by right. There are 22 parking spaces provided, which is what's required under the parking table. This meets and exceeds all of the requirements for not only site plan review, but also a special permit under 246.1B. That special permit requires a 3-acre minimum, which is 7.37 acres. Requires a front yard setback of 50 feet and side and rear yard setbacks of 30 feet. Here we have a front yard setback of over 50 feet. Side yard to the west is 396 feet. Side yard to the east is over 650 feet. and the rear yard setback to the south is 51 feet. It's required that it not be within 300 feet of a single-family district or within 300 feet of a dwelling. The nearest dwelling, the only dwelling that's close to this, is 650 feet away. As noted, we did submit that analysis of development impact, which shows that the project meets and exceeds all the requirements.
Just need a
set forth
project when
therein.
we're fine. I'm still in the.
So I believe that based on the last hearing and the information provided, that you have all the necessary information for both the site plan review as well as the special permit under 246.1B. I'd be happy to address any questions you might have or all. And if none, I would ask that you ask the town planner to make a draft positive motion for the next hearing review.
All right, thank you.
I don't have any questions.
That's good. Yeah. Paul? Any questions?
No, thank you.
Tom, you all set?
All set.
Okay, I know we don't have a decision on this.
No.
So,
Yep. Oh, and I should have noted, Mr. Drewley, we did speak with MES, and he expressed two comments, both of which are addressable within our plan.
Because when I sat down with Jim this morning, he said that it was not yet finished, and so we have to continue to.
Well, when I spoke with Jed last week, he asked me if I was hoping for a draft decision tonight. I said, well, hoping and expecting are two different things. I said, I would love a draft decision, but I'm not expecting it. So that was our conversation last Wednesday or Thursday. But I did connect with Chuck Martinson, and that was, that email was provided to Jed as well.
Okay, because all I can tell you is what Jed said to me, so I don't know what he felt was lacking.
Well, he said to me this afternoon that we have a revised site plan with lighting and landscaping, but he said not a decision.
Yeah.
for tonight.
So, again, not expecting a decision this evening, but if you have no further questions and wanted to direct Mr. Cornock to draft a positive motion, that would be, I think, probably a prudent step, both site plan review and special permit.
I would say that if Jed has no further questions, that we can direct him
Okay.
to prepare a positive motion, provided he has no further questions that have not been answered.
You guys good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Form of a motion?
Okay, move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you have your honor also for a special permit.
Yeah, I mean, I can stand up and say the same thing if you need me to, or if we can just condense both of them into that hearing, I'm fine
Well,
with
he
that.
asked me to keep the special permit here. for
Yeah,
that.
I'll be here.
Okay. We don't know if he'll be here. Okay, next on the agenda, applicant Matthew Terry Esquire, site plan review application to construct a new 7,475 square foot light manufacturing warehouse building at 117 Bernard St. Jean Drive. Any for the applicant?
Good evening, members of the board. For the applicant and for the record, Matt Terry from the law firm of Ahmed Clower in Falmouth. We're here tonight, our first hearing on this site plan review. This will be sort of introductory in nature. We've received a number of referrals, including from engineering, which was provided late last week. So we'll be working with our engineer to incorporate those comments and have further discussions with the engineering and planning departments. With me tonight is, for Regessa LLC, is Jesse Richards. Also here from Longfellow Design Build is Scott Masilli and Will Paglia, who are project engineers. To give you an overview of this warehouse that's proposed to be added to 117 Bernard East St. Jean Drive in the Tech Park. It is a 7,475 square foot warehouse. And the purpose is storage and light manufacturing. The only review that we need for this project, other than the building permit, is site plan review. The subject property here in the tech park is just shy of 3 acres. It's zoned in the light industrial B district. The applicant has owned the property since 2007 and has operated their business there since the acquisition. Currently, the only improvements on the property are one 9,840 square foot building housing the applicant's business and some temporary storage containers to the north and east of the building. The proposed project would be compliant with all dimensional zoning requirements. Prior to the application being made for site plan review, we obtained a determination from the building commissioner with respect to a front yard designation. And we did that because, as you can see, the property is surrounded on 3 sides by the drive, and only on the south side by private property. Excuse me, so lots of frontage to choose from, and based on the proposed siting of the new building, we had proposed to the building commissioner, he countersigned and agreed in a letter dated August 1st, 2025, which was included in your application materials, that this stretch of frontage here, where my mouse is going from the east property boundary with the road up to the north, would be designated as the front yard for purposes of establishing setbacks. The resulting lot coverage by structure incorporated in this new building would be 12.5%, where 25% is allowed by right in a LIB district. Lot coverage by structures, paving, and parking will be 38.4%, where 70% is allowed by right. The new building will provide workspace for 7 employees, bringing the total number of employees on site to 25. There's no retail component contemplated, and so visitors are really fairly rare to the property, 1 or 2 at most at a time. Accordingly, the applicant in our application, and again this evening, is requesting a waiver from the commissioning of a traffic study, as it would place an undue economic hardship on the applicant as a result of the low additional employee number being added and the current non-public facing use of the property, and would also not be in the public interest. The driveways will remain in place where they're currently sited. Parking spaces added will be added to accommodate new employees. 10 would be required, 20 would be required, and 22 will be provided. New gas, water, and electricity lines will be run in to service the new building, and a new septic system to the east of the building will be installed to be dedicated solely to this building. Lighting will be on the building similar to the existing building. The landscaping plan gives a little bit of detail around the lighting. You can see the bump outs on the perimeter of the building indicates where the proposed lighting would be. These are dark sky compliant LED full cutout wall pack exterior lights. New landscaping will include 12 5-gallon hydrangeas around the exterior of the new building and installing new grass behind and to the side of the building. Stormwater mitigation is also as shown on the plan set. Let me see. I skipped over that one. With installation of a hydro work catch basin to the northeast of the building, and the installation of some hope drains and a proposed drainage basin to the southwest of the proposed building. The truck simulation plan was also included in the plan set. And as you can see here, using the fire department's template, shows the ability of first responding vehicles to circulate within the site, including in between the current and proposed buildings. The erosion control plan included in the site plan set shows catch basin filter bags, a stockpile staging area to the east of the building, and erosion control barriers throughout the property. I wanted to take a moment just to show a few 3D renderings that we've had done that will show the new building in the darker shade. This is a fairly heavily wooded 3-acre site. Clearing will be limited based on the existing conditions. Here's an aerial that again shows what's been cleared over time, and that this building will be constructed with a minimum of additional clearing and fairly well screened from the roadway. And this is just a ground level view. So with that, I am happy to address any questions or have the engineers come up and address any questions that the board might have.
Thank you. Tom, any questions?
No, I didn't hear, which waiver, sir, are you seeking? Did you say?
From a traffic study.
A traffic study. Okay, that was it.
Paul?
Yeah, just one quick question. On the catch basin filter bag, is that during construction or is that permanent?
The filter bags, that's during construction.
Thank you.
Pat, any questions?
Well, I'm going to preempt something that you might ask, because with the catch basin, how deep is it? John has always brought up, there was a drowning, we don't want to have another one. Would you fence around it? Is it deep enough?
I don't know if, Scott, if you can speak to the catch basin.
Good evening. For the record, Scott Michelli. I'm a professional engineer with Longfellow Design Build. So the bottom of the basin is at elevation 88. The existing grade at that point is 90, so we're only excavating it 2 additional feet. It is higher, so it goes from 92 down to 88 on the road side, and then here it's naturally graded, it slopes upward, so it's not very deep, and it's not very steep.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yes, thank you. Jim, any questions?
None.
Bob?
Not yet.
Okay, I think we have just about everything. There are a few open items from the engineering department, which I don't think had been resolved yet, so.
No.
So, we'll have to
Continue this.
continue the hearing.
Well, we should ask for public.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is there anyone here from the public? We never have anybody from the public, so.
Wants to comment on?
Yeah.
Does anyone from the public want to make any comments or any questions about this application? Okay, thank you.
So we're awaiting the engineer's report on the drainage,
Well, we have it, but they had some questions that need to get resolved.
those questions. Whatever, sure.
It looked like everything else was,
Could they possibly be resolved administratively? How difficult are those questions? I mean, this happens a lot, the information. Do we need to hold them up for weeks, just to have the engineers talk? Just asking a question.
I don't want to hold them up for weeks.
We can continue this until November 4th, which is our next meeting. And if everything is resolved, then it's not a big holdup, because this is the first time we've heard this,
Okay.
Jim.
Just thought it looked like pretty good, ready to go, fine.
It does look, everything does
Looks
look
good.
good, but we can't override the engineering department, so.
Yeah.
So presuming we had that, then,
They're all at the selectmen's meeting.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them that time.
presuming that we have that resolved, we probably can do a positive motion at that point.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Do we need a vote on that?
No,
Okay.
site plan reviews, it's just
Thank you.
continued.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next on the agenda is TGR Realty LLC, site plan review application to approve an existing detached accessory dwelling unit at 33 John Parker Road.
Chairman, I have to recuse myself from this.
Who's got here?
Just this one hearing.
Okay.
I'm not- I'll just sit here and be quiet, okay? You want to leave the room?
We don't want to jeopardize anything. Your presence could be imposing, you know?
Yeah.
And for the applicant?
Yes, good evening. I'm Bob Ament. I'm a Falmouth attorney, and I represent the applicant, TJR Realty Trust, the principal of which is Tom Rackley. Tom and his wife bought the subject property, 33 John Parker Road, which is just a few doors up John Parker Road from Route 28 in East Falmouth. They bought it in 1977. They've owned it for almost 48 years. And when they bought the property, it was always configured the way it is now. The principal dwelling in the front of the property was then and is now a two-family unit, has an apartment on the first floor. It happens to be a Section 8 rental, and there is an apartment on the second floor. In addition, to the rear, there's a detached dwelling. I'm pointing to it here. And it has an occupied apartment in it. This parcel is shown on this insert. It's 1.8 acres of property. As I said, it's just off of Route 28. And the rear is all vacant. Plans were developed for a 40B with as many as 24 units on it, but all we want to do now is legalize the existing apartments. Now, when we filed this application, and this may be the last site plan review that you have for an accessory dwelling unit, because that's soon going to be just the domain of the building commissioner, subject to town meeting's action next month. But when we put this together, the property was under agreement. We were going to sell it to somebody who only wanted to use the principal dwelling, the front structure, as a single-family dwelling. So our request before you is just to have the rear detached one-story dwelling unit approved as an ADU. That deal didn't come to pass, and our intention is to try to confirm the legality of the two-family in front, so that there'd be a total of 3 apartments available on site, as again there have been for so many years. It may well be that the existing use is protected because it's so old, but we don't have enough proof of that, and we felt the easiest thing to do would be to take advantage of the existing bylaws of the accessory apartment, accessory dwelling unit bylaw, and get these present situation approved that way. Our intention is to come back before you seeking a special permit for the apartment on the second floor of the principal dwelling to also be an ADU. Your present bylaw allows that to have the planning board by special permit can approve a second ADU. The proposed bylaw will not allow that, so we will be filing a plan that will freeze the zoning in place, so we will be able to do that and end up with 3 apartments as they've been there all the years. The accessory dwelling unit in the rear meets all of the requirements in terms of percentage of floor area in relation to the principal dwelling. And it's just a perfect place for an apartment close to public transportation on Route 28 and on a large lot. The Board of Health, the Health Department, has already approved a new septic system for the site. I submitted a copy of their approval. The septic system is shown on the site plan that you have, and that's on the screens before you. And because the lot is so large, 1.8 acres, we don't have any problem with the 10,000 square foot per bedroom requirement. Plenty of room for parking on the property and so on. I don't know how much more information you need for site plan review for an accessory dwelling unit. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a couple. Mr. Arment, just looking at the map, so how far is this dwelling from the property line? It looks like it's about 4 feet. Should that be,
I don't know the exact distance. I'm not sure we have a plan that shows that. We have other plans, and I might have that information. Of course, the proposed bylaw expressly states that a nonconformance doesn't prevent the approval of the ADU. And we're not
correct,
proposing any new construction or changes, so I'm not sure it's
Yeah.
that important. I submitted photographs of the buildings with the application.
so actually, I have a question. Does that go to the building commissioner? John,
Sorry.
if that dwelling's close, like less than 10 feet from that property line, will that still have to go?
They'll have to have a certified site plan.
All right,
Yes.
so that's a step beyond us, okay,
Correct.
all right.
Mr. Zine, just to help out a little bit, as you may know, a zoning nonconformance or a zoning violation which has existed for more than 10 years is protected. So that structure's been where it is probably for, well, the old assessor's cards have records of it as a dwelling back to 1952 when it says it was renovated in 1952. So
Okay,
that's that.
all right. Does that have a foundation, or is it on blocks?
It has a foundation.
It has a foundation, okay, good.
Thank you.
Are
Go
there going to
ahead.
be any drainage issues, just looking at the contour lines? Is that something we may, within our purview, that from the rear, it's 33 feet, to the front, it's 30? Will that need any sort of French drain or catch basin? Have you noticed any drainage issues on that lot, or the owner?
Well, the owner isn't present tonight, and I've been there on a very rainy occasion and didn't notice a problem, but I can't say that there isn't.
Okay.
And as far as what happens after this review, of course, is this goes to the building commissioner.
Right.
He has to issue a building permit for the use, so he'll require the filing of it, and then he'll review these issues. At that time, he'll probably consider the fact that the existing plans show 2 units in the front. But by the time he sees that, we will have filed an application for your special permit to approve the second unit. And one of the things I like about the fact that we'd be approving the 2 apartments besides the main unit on the first floor as accessory dwelling units is that they then will be subject to the rules for accessory dwelling units, that they not be used for short-term rentals, and that's fine with us.
Yeah. And my only other question is the exterior light, so the front, is that, so you have obviously the fences here, the dwelling, is the front of the building on the opposite side of the fence? I guess only because they're so close to the neighbors. I'm just concerned about any lighting that may be imposed on the neighbors next to them.
Well, whatever the conditions are, they've been there for some 70 years. The floor plans, which I have, do include the first and second floor of the principal dwelling, plus this is the plan of the rear cottage. And the entrance facing the street is over here. And so I think you're referring to, well, you're either one of these sides. Actually, it may be that this is the entrance.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I should have that and match it up with the site plan. But there would be a windows on the side of the house facing the neighbor.
Yeah, I mean, if it is, I mean, that's just, obviously, it's their decision whether or not to do dark sky lighting to be a good neighbor, that's all. Just want to make that comment. All right, I'm all set.
Thank you. Paul?
Well, I was looking at the septic system. It's pretty interesting the way we're able to fit that in that site.
Excuse me.
Well, apparently they did because it's received its permit.
But that's an existing building.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
The accessory home is an existing house.
It serves
The
both
main
of...
plus the existing building.
The dwelling...
Septic is new.
The septic system will serve both structures.
Kind of interesting the way they were able to fit that in.
I had nothing to do with it.
Did a nice job.
I don't know how to comment on this. I prefer to have it pre-existing, non-conforming, and let it go, rather than convoluting things with special permit and all that kind of thing. It's been here, as you point out, Bob, for 70 years. I think we should be able to just stamp it and say it's pre-existing, non-conforming, it is.
I don't think we get to do that, though.
I don't think we get to do that, but it would be preferable, because right now, you've got the main dwelling as being only the first floor.
Correct.
No, that's not correct.
Why isn't it? Because you've got two apartments.
The principal dwelling is the principal dwelling.
The whole building.
That's the phrase in both the town bylaw and the state statute. And it's that principal dwelling, which is both floors, that's the basis for the allowed size of either one or two, if there were two, accessory dwelling units. So the upper floor has about 900 square feet.
Yeah.
That's relevant because an accessory apartment isn't supposed to have more than 900. I've very carefully measured it. It's actually 898. But that's measured to the exterior, which has always been how we defined gross floor area. But under the state regulations and your new bylaw, we will be calculating, at least for purposes of ADUs, gross floor area only to the interior exterior wall. So actually, we won't even be close to the 900 square feet maximum.
There's just, we need
But the
to,
important point is, and it may seem confusing, is that the principal dwelling presently consists of 2 units and has a total of about 2,100 square feet of floor area or footprint. And that's the figure that you measure. We will end up having, with your special permit, an accessory dwelling unit within the principal dwelling as allowed, and we will have an accessory dwelling unit detached in the rear. But it's actually only the rear structure that you're approving tonight as an ADU.
yeah, and to your point, it would be lovely to have them both as ADUs so that we could control the rental periods too.
Right,
They can't do interval rentals.
right, right.
We're discussing tonight.
Yeah.
We haven't approved anything, what we're discussing.
I understand.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, that's,
Bob?
Yeah, it's the matter of making the numbers work for the detached ADU based on the square footage of the existing property. And I don't know, I kind of agree with Pat. When we created this ADU bylaw, one of the goals was to bring in non-conforming units into the fold. And greater minds than mine can probably figure out how to make the numbers work. But I'd like to see it come out so that it is a legal dwelling unit and it can be used as such.
we could actually have 2 ADUs there that are
Right.
controlled interval.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, presently, your bylaw specifically says that to have more than one ADU requires a special permit from the planning board.
Mhm.
And that's in there because that's in the state
Yeah,
statute passed last November.
yeah.
Your proposed bylaw will eliminate that provision, and so we won't be able to have 2 ADUs. I think that this is a case especially since we have 70 years of history to look at. This is a case where having 2 ADUs on this lot is a terrific idea. On the other hand, there'll be some other case where having 5 or more on a lot is absolutely a terrible idea. So I think there's merit to the change in the bylaw, but I think this is a situation which happens to fit the existing bylaw, and we can have it processed under it.
Will there be enough time to get the second one passed? A special permit, do you think?
The first unit will be approved pursuant to site plan review
Yeah.
through the process that we're in right now. The second unit, under the present bylaw, can only be allowed with your special permit.
Right.
The window to do that is closing because with the passage of the town meeting article, you won't have an opportunity to do that. In fact, as you know, a town meeting change, a bylaw, the effective date relates back to the first publication date, so that's already happened. However, the state statute also says the filing of a plan with the planning board freezes the zoning, and that's what we will do just because we already have the plan, and we can do it, and it's a way to make this work.
We have a staff report, and number 2 on the staff report states it must be determined whether the principal dwelling qualifies as a 2-family unit. If it does, only 1 unit may be used to calculate the allowable square footage for the ADU. In that case, neither unit is large enough to support a 699 square foot ADU.
Actually, I had a conversation for about 20 minutes at about 5 o'clock this afternoon right here with the town planner about that. And I think he now understands and agrees that the principal dwelling means the entire principal dwelling. It doesn't refer to principal dwelling unit. That word is never found in either the state statute or the local bylaw. The principal dwelling is both floors, and you'd calculate both of those areas for determining the allowed size of an ADU. The size of the detached ADU in the rear is less than 50% and less than 900 square feet as required. The same will be true of the second floor ADU. But if you have a house that contains, let's say, 2,000 square feet, this one together it's around 2,100, if you had 2,000 square feet, you're allowed to have an ADU in it. That ADU can be up 50% of the floor area, gross floor area of the principal dwelling, that is the entire structure, not to exceed 900 square feet. So you could have a 900 square foot ADU, leaving only 900 feet left. So you could have 2 900 square foot units. You're not limited to 50% of the floor area of the building that is not an ADU.
Well, I'm glad you had a conversation with him, but we have not had that conversation with him.
I'm sure you will.
So I think we will have that conversation.
Yeah.
And
ultimately, the building commissioner, as far as whether this is a 1 unit, 2 units, whether we comply with the building code and all, this has to go from the planning board to the building commissioner, and whom I've discussed this project with at length.
It looks like there's somebody who wants to comment.
Okay, anyone in the, are you finished? Mr. Ahmed, are you finished, or are you
If you're finished with me.
momentarily? Anyone else in the audience? Yes, sir?
How you doing? My name's Aaron Perry. I'm here on behalf of Karen Murphy at 25 John Parker Road, who is in opposition of allowing this. She had a letter prepared, if I may give it to you.
Certainly. Is she in a butter?
She is. I'm not sure how you want to do this, if you
Thank
guys
you.
would like to just read it, or if you'd like me to read it.
You can read it into the record, I
Yes,
think, don't
that'd
you,
be,
John?
that'd be fine, sure.
Mr. Zai would like to read it.
Right.
This is to the Falmouth Planning Board. The subject, objection to proposed ADU at 33 John Parker Road, East Falmouth, Mass. 02536, zoning violations. It states, "Dear members of the Falmouth Planning Board, I am writing to formally object to the proposed and continued use of a structure located at 33 John Parker Road, East Falmouth, Mass. 02536 as an accessory dwelling unit, ADU. This structure is situated approximately 4 inches from my property line, which is in clear violation of the Town of Falmouth's zoning setback requirements, specifically the minimum 10-foot side and rear yard setbacks required under Section 240-11.4 setbacks of the zoning bylaw. The main residence on the property also already contains 2 separate dwelling units, allowing the use and continued use of an additional structure as an ADU would effectively legally create a 3rd unit on a lot that is zoned for single-family use and in violation of Section 240-9.1 accessory dwelling units of the zoning bylaws. In addition, the structure does not meet the design standards as required under Section 240-9.1D design standards of the zoning bylaw. This raises serious concerns about over-occupancy, strain on infrastructure, and non-compliance with local zoning regulations, which are designed to preserve neighborhood character and ensure public safety. While the Massachusetts Affordable Homes Act, Chapter 150 of the Acts of 2024 permits ADUs by right in single-family zones, it does not override local dimensional standards such as setbacks, lot coverage, and open space requirements. Furthermore, the law does not permit ADUs on properties that already contain multiple dwelling units unless explicitly allowed by local ordinance. The structure in question not only violates setback rules, but also contributes to an intensification of use that is incompatible with the surrounding neighborhood. The cumulative impact of multiple units on a single lot, especially one with inadequate separation from neighboring properties, raises concerns about noise, privacy, parking, and emergency access. I respectfully urge the Planning Board to deny any application or permit that would allow this structure to be used and continue to be used as an ADU unless it is brought into full compliance with both state and local zoning regulations. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Respectfully, Karen Murphy.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hey, good evening, Robert Ryan, 41 John Parker Road. I'm the butter immediately to the north of the property in question, and I'm representing myself and my wife, Dawn Wegerhaupt. We've resided at this residence for 25 and 30 years, respectively. In deference to Mr. Ahmet, TGR Realty LLC, in fact, took deed of that property in 2003. It is not 48 years. We're opposed to granting of the permit for this ADU unit. The owner is an absentee landlord, currently a resident of Charlotte County, Florida. The property is currently, and has been for a number of years, in a state of disrepair. The yard and multiple structures are continuing to be neglected, and this simply seems like an opportunity to add multiple rentable units to a property that's currently neglected and does not meet any of the neighborhood standards. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jeannie Rackley took title to this property by deed in 1977. The Rackleys, or the LLC, which Tom is the manager of and the member of, have owned the property since 2003, but the Rackleys have owned this property for as long as I've correctly represented. As I said earlier, these buildings have existed since before zoning began in Falmouth. They are protected from the current setback requirement. They do not constitute a violation, and they've been there for all the time that the neighbors have owned their properties, and much, much longer. It wasn't stated how the properties don't meet the design standards. I would contend that they do. The intention here is to be able to upgrade this property, which needs significant upgrading, and that can be done pursuant to legalizing the existing apartments. We are not creating any new apartments. We are not creating any more bedrooms. We are not adding a single square foot to the footprint or the floor area of these structures. And again, as we said before, the proposed bylaw specifically allows ADUs to be created without reference to pre-existing nonconformances.
I have a question for you. Does the Rackley still own this property, or has someone purchased it?
No, Rackley owns the property, and once the issues are resolved with regard to the legality of the 3 units, and it may be, as I said, it may be that these 3 units are so old that they are legal, but we felt that it was the better thing to do to come before the board and get current permits for them. In any case, Rackley may continue to own the property if we have all 3 units legalized and he can fix them up, or there'll be a good market for the property from people who would like to own and keep 3 apartments. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Dawn Wegahopt, 41 John Parker Road. I just want to clarify that it is an LLC that owns the property. He does live in Florida. It's not a resident. The ADU really is not intended as a money-making opportunity for a person who doesn't live there. He has never lived at this property. I've been there 35 years. He has never lived at this property. His parents lived there and his sister lived there, but he has never lived there. Also, I'd like to bring your attention to the property has been listed since 2023 for sale. In the initial listing, it says it's being marketed as a land sale. That tells you the overall condition of the property. Again, in 2023, the price was, or 2025, the price was reduced by $20,000 and saying pending ADU. This property has been for sale in an area that properties turn over very quickly, as we're fully aware. I just pulled the local Massachusetts Association of Realtors figures for September of this year. The average single-family sales date on market is 66. In September of 2024, it was 33 days. If this property was in good shape, it would have sold, as is. The fact the owner is still trying to sell it should be an indication of the his negligence overall in the property. He just wants it as a money-making opportunity, and that's not the intent of an ADU, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
Aaron Perry on behalf of Karen Murphy. I truly wish she was here to talk about the longevity of the property. This house is a family property. Her parents grew up there, or her parents lived there, owned it. They actually knew the original owners. I believe they were the Pachecos, and this actual building was a garage they stored farm equipment in. It was just a shed. Over the years, building has grown considerably. So I'd be curious to know what building permits were pulled, what inspections were done for this structure, because it was not always a cottage as it is now. The other thing, just so I can kind of clarify it, is primary dwelling. Does that mean that it's the entire building with 2 separate apartments that don't connect inside, or would that have to be a full home that you can easily egress from one to the other? So I think that would be, I'm curious about that, because I actually looked at this property to purchase it when it went up for sale, and on the inside, there was no way to get to one floor to the other. It was outside. So if primary dwelling, I would say that that would have to be a continuous unit and opened up so that you could flow through it, or one of the units would have to be designated primary.
And that has been the question.
For a lot of years.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we need a little direction here.
Sure.
So we had the hearing. Do we want to continue this? To get some-
33 John Parker? Yes, I
Yes.
would suggest you continue.
Okay.
Yeah. We can certainly provide, although, as a just walking in, so I'm not sure if there's still open questions, but we can draft a positive motion if you're ready, but I don't know exactly where you're at.
Well, the question is about the principal dwelling.
Right.
And the applicant's attorney suggested that he had a conversation with you this afternoon that
Correct.
clarified that for you.
It did. So.
But on our staff report, it remains open.
Correct. So we drafted the staff report prior to the conversation that I had with Attorney Ament. And it was related to the definition of a principal dwelling. As you know, the Affordable Homes Act passed in February, so we are currently operating under that law. What I believe we need to do as staff is ensure that not only are we operating underneath that law and the principles of it, but also the regulations that go along with it. My sense is that we are. I would like to run that by town council to make sure first, because within those regulations, as you know, there's a definition of a principal dwelling, which would apply in this case. We just want to make sure that we are actually operating under those principles, not the old bylaw or the soon-to-be adopted, fingers crossed at town meeting, new amended bylaw. So that being said, yes, I think maybe a continuation would be appropriate so that we can work with town council to figure that
So
out.
in the future, say we have a similar situation, the determining person we would ask would be town council, or would it be the building commissioner, or do we need both to give us a response, or?
Don't think, well, so in the future, in the future, if things go the way town meeting is, that we're hoping it will, the planning board won't be involved in ADUs anymore. So essentially, the planning department would be a sign-off, but all of those applications would go through the building commissioner.
Okay.
Now, as it relates to one or more, that special permit criteria, that's a different conversation. And that we can talk about with town council ahead of time. But as far as this type of application, I don't think that you folks will be involved moving forward if town meeting approves that.
So you're recommending we close the hearing with a positive motion in the future, depending on your conversation with town council?
Yeah, so two things. Keep in mind, it's just a public meeting, so you're not closing any hearings.
Okay.
But, yeah, I would like to confer with town council
Okay.
before, but we'll also draft up a positive motion just in case, so that we can keep the application moving if council advises
Okay.
that principal dwelling is the whole structure.
I'd like to say something to Jed too, because I don't know about anybody else on the board, but right now, I'm feeling a little bit of pressure to give a positive on this because, oh, that window is closing because they want to come after us for a special permit for that upstairs apartment to be an ADU.
Right.
And that window is totally closing at the November town meeting. So I myself am feeling, I would say for myself, undue pressure to come up with a decision on this. That may be illegitimate.
You're not alone. I too feel that pressure. And I'd want to spend a little bit more time on it,
Yeah.
honestly, just to make sure. I'm somewhat comfortable with the conversation that I had with Attorney Ament about the way the application would move forward. But, spending time reflecting on it afterwards, I just want to make sure that we're not making the wrong decision. So I'd like to have that opportunity just to consult first, to make sure that what I think is correct is actually correct. It's rare to be incorrect, but it happens.
Even to you, Jed.
It does. It does.
Thank you for that. Paul?
You're welcome.
Just like to make a brief comment. The town planner was not here earlier. He was requested to attend a meeting at the select board on the new police station. So we had simultaneous meetings, so he was not here. It was not for lack of interest, but because he was asked to attend another meeting. So we tried to go along without him for the first half of the meeting, and I think we made it.
We're still here. That's good.
Bob, any more
No.
questions? So I would just like to say that I'd like to hear from town council also, and I don't feel any pressure, but you got here a little late, you arrived here a little late, so we have had abutters
Okay.
that are not in support of this. And basically, if this gets approved, it'll be three rentals
Okay.
in a residential neighborhood. That's their concern.
Got it.
So we'll keep
We'll
the
look
hearing
into it.
open, and we'll wait to hear.
Till November
Yep, so
4th.
I would suggest continue to the
Continue.
October 28th meeting,
Okay.
if that's doable for the applicant.
Mr. Almond?
Thanks. Just a quick couple of comments. First, I'm sure that the town planner will review the tape of the first part of the hearing, so that he'll be in good stead to comment. There's no question that the property is not in good shape. It isn't in good shape. And although I've been advised that all three apartments were occupied in 1977, I don't have the proof of that. And so, again, there's a way to legalize these apartments, and that's why we're here. It's because of questions about the status of the apartments. It's because the property is not in good shape that it's been difficult to sell. What we're trying to do is make it possible to fix up the property and have three apartments that are recognized as legal by the town. Thanks.
Thank you. So next public hearing is,
October 28th.
yes, October
Yes.
28th.
Yep.
Can I add one more thing about responsive to Pat Kerfoot's concern? You don't need to be in a hurry. We're going to file a plan. The filing of the plan means that the present zoning remains into effect for a period of 3 years or longer. And so you don't need to feel in a hurry.
Because I was, Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. So our next public hearing is Mr. Raphael Citizen, special permit application to allow a non-conforming front yard setback in the mixed residential and commercial overlay district, and to allow parking in the front yard and within 5 feet of the property line at 683 Main Street. And I think he was here earlier in life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did. But we've got the hearing was closed.
Correct.
Jed told me earlier, so we have to reopen the hearing, put the new plan into it.
Okay.
So I guess I should move that we reopen this particular hearing
All right.
because of the new plan.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
Do you have members that, is Jim abstaining from the previous?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Come
he's got to
back?
come back in,
Yeah.
Okay.
wherever he disappeared to. There he is.
Welcome back. Okay,
So for the record, you are allowing the revised plan that was part of the site plan review application, labeled Site Plan of 683 Main Street, Falmouth, Mass., prepared for Raphael Citadin, prepared by Colley Site Services, dating April 14th, 2025, with the latest revision date of 10/6/25, into the record as the official site plan that will go along with this special permit approval.
Do we need to vote what you just said?
You might want to say so moved.
So moved.
And then we've, well, I put together a draft motion for you.
But so moved, we've got to vote on that now.
Very good.
Yep. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excuse me, what are we voting on right now?
We had closed the hearing, and because a new site plan was sent in to us in regard to parking,
Yeah.
we had to reopen that hearing to accept the new site plan, and that's what we've been that's what we're
Just
voting.
to accept the site plan?
Yes,
Okay.
because it's an updated site plan.
All right. We haven't reviewed the plan yet or anything?
No.
Okay, fine.
So as you are aware, You closed the hearing previously with a very similar site plan. This new site plan, none of the parking that was subject to the special permit has been moved or altered in any way. Essentially, all that's been changed on the plan itself were some of the drainage infrastructure and how the water would get to it. So you can now, if the hearing is open, which you have done, and accepted this new plan, you can open it to public comment if there is any. If there isn't, close the hearing, and then you can read the motion into the record.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Is there any public comment for this hearing? Seeing none?
Okay, I move to close the hearing.
You got a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Then we have a motion to approve. Tom, would you read that into the record, please?
Motion that the planning board votes to approve the application of Raphael Zanet, Citadin, on behalf of Pilgrim Hill Holdings LLC for a special permit to allow parking in the front yard, parking within 5 feet of the property line, and to exceed the maximum front yard setback at 683 Main Street under sections 240-14.115B, 240-7.5F5, and 240-12.1 of the zoning bylaw, with the following findings and conditions. Findings. The applicant is proposing to convert the existing 3,697 square foot mixed-use office and residential building into a 5 multi-unit development. The applicant is seeking a special permit under section 14.15B to allow for 6 parking spaces located within the front yard and 5 parking spaces within 5 feet of the property line. The board finds that the location of the building and the shape of the lot creates challenges with respect to locating parking spaces. The board finds that the proposed parking layout provides optimal circulation of the site, limits impacts to public safety access, and supports the functionality of the site. The applicant is also seeking a special permit under section 240-7.5F5 of the zoning bylaw to maintain the existing 48-foot front yard setback. The board finds that although the proposed setback exceeds 25 feet, the project includes the redevelopment of a lawful, pre-existing, non-conforming structure on Main Street that falls in line with the purposes of the mixed residential and commercial overlay district. Next page. The planning board finds that the site is adequately sized for the proposed use, that the site is suitable due to its location within the downtown commercial area and the mixed residential and commercial overlay district. It will not adversely affect traffic flow or safety. It won't have adverse impacts on views and vistas. The methods for sewage disposal, potable water, and drainage are adequate. Appropriate utilities and other public services are provided, and that the project will have a positive impact on the supply of affordable housing in town by providing 2 additional affordable units and by including all of the rental units on the town's subsidized housing inventory. Therefore, given the above and the conditions to be imposed below, the planning board finds the application for a special permit to allow 6 parking spaces located within the front yard, 5 parking spaces within 5 feet of the property line, and a 40-foot front yard setback will be in harmony with the general purposes and intent of sections 240-7.5, 240-12.1, and 240-14.1 of the zoning bylaw. Additionally, the proposal will not have adverse effects within overbalance, which overbalances its beneficial effects on either the neighborhood or the town. Conditions. Number 1, the plan shall be constructed as approved. Number 2, Pursuant to Section 240-2.1C2 of the zoning bylaw, no permit for full or partial occupancy shall be issued until the planning board is satisfied that the conditions of this approval and predecessor approvals have been met. And lastly, number 3, pursuant to Section 240-12.11 of the zoning bylaw, this special permit shall lapse 3 years from the date it is granted if a substantial use thereof has not sooner commenced except for good cause shown.
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I had just one question. Under the findings, second paragraph, the fourth line says, therefore, and it goes on, that the setback will be in harmony. We normally use the terminology in accordance with. Is there some reason why we're using that in harmony rather than in accordance? Is that a legal issue?
Not that I'm aware of. It was just,
I've never seen that on any of these decisions.
so technically it wouldn't be in accordance with, because your Mr. Cod bylaw only allows up to 25 feet for your front yard setback. So although it's not meeting that requirement, I wouldn't say in accordance with, because of course it doesn't meet it. But as you noted, you're not going to require the applicant to move the building. And so therefore, you're issuing a special permit
It's
that...
basically a waiver.
Essentially, yes. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I just need to be refreshed. This is when we were talking about, we had some concerns about drainage because the site was so flat. Did they ever resolve
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I needed to, I couldn't remember that or not. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you. Next, the applicant is Cape Cod Aggregate Corporation. Special permit application to construct a contractor's yard consisting of 2 proposed buildings, a 3,990 square foot building intended for contractor bays, and a 5,400 square foot building to include a scale house, garage, and accessory office use at 0 Thomas B. Landers Road. And for the applicant?
Good evening again, Mr. Chair. For the record, Kevin Clower. I don't have much to add beyond the testimony I provided during the site plan review portion of the hearing. If you'd like, I'm happy to go through it again, just so you have it for the record, but I know there's a lot of people here and I don't want to hold up for that. So if you're satisfied with the testimony I gave previously, because I addressed a lot of the special permit considerations within that presentation, I think that you probably have enough information to move forward with your decision, subject to, of course, Jed, just for your edification, it's been continued requesting a positive motion, provided you don't have any additional questions or engineering that we can't address. So,
Continue to the 28th?
is it the 28th or the 4th? I don't think we actually gave a date.
Didn't we?
I don't think we set a date.
Either would work for me, if that matters.
I have November 4th with a question mark after it, and since I didn't take the question mark out, it was probably 11/4, but we can change that if,
I mean, I don't believe we gave a date, but I'm happy to do either.
Would you-
Earlier is always better, I guess.
28th is fine.
okay.
All right, we'll do 20 days.
So
Any-
you'll be keeping the hearing open
Yes.
Yeah.
for this one? Yep.
Is there anyone in the audience that wants to make any comments or any questions? Okay.
Because this is a special permit, though, do we need, I think we need to make a motion on it, don't we, to keep it open?
Sure, that works.
Okay, so I move that we keep the special permit application for Cape Cod Aggregates open until October 28th.
And just so I'm clear, along with the site plan review decision, are you directing Jed for a positive motion on this, subject to those caveats we
We
discussed?
could.
I believe the terminology is asking nicely.
If I'm asking very nicely.
Okay, he's
Kidding, of course.
asking very nicely.
We
And
can draft one.
if he doesn't have any questions,
Yep.
we could have.
We'll
a
address,
positive.
you know, anything that comes up, whether it be further comments from engineering or from Mr. Cornock, we'll certainly address.
So it's continued till 10/28.
Okay,
But then that's not the next meeting.
So it's been moved and seconded?
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Next meeting is the
Unanimous.
4th of November.
Yeah, I know, that's why I had the 4th of November down there.
Unless I'm unaware of a
Ask
conflict
me.
on the 28th. So the reason you have November 4th as an option in November is because your first meeting would be the 11th of November, which is Veterans Day.
Right, we voted on that.
Right, so you voted to move it up to
Right.
the 4th.
But I thought we were postponing this till October, a date in October. When we
We
meet
are,
again.
October 28th, but that wasn't what it said. Our next meeting on here is November 4th on our,
Oh, on the agenda?
Yeah.
That's an error on our part.
yeah, I know.
So we have a
No.
meeting on October 28th?
October 28th.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
So there is a meeting.
Yes, apologies.
Details.
All right, thank you. So now
Thank you.
we're going to have, we have two zoning articles, petitioner zoning articles to discuss. And the first one, Tom, you want to read the first one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't we have to give publishing on that?
So, go ahead
Yeah.
and read it, and I'll provide that.
In accordance with the provisions of MGL Chapter 40A, Section 5, and Section 1.1D of the Falmouth zoning bylaw, the Falmouth Planning Board shall conduct a public hearing on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, at 6:30 PM at the Falmouth Town Hall, 59 Town Hall Square, Falmouth, Mass. 02540, on the zoning articles proposed for the warrant at the annual town meeting to be held November 17th, 2025.
Thank you. Now, Jed, this is the first time I've done this, so
Published.
Correct, yeah, just
At the
indicate the
bottom
published publication date.
And this was published September 26, 2025, also published October 3rd, 2023.
And for the record, there were 76 abutters notified by regular mail.
Okay.
I didn't get that.
so now I ask the petitioner's applicant
Correct.
to
So
step forward to the podium.
this is for Article 14, which is to see if the town will vote to amend the official zoning map of the town of Falmouth to remove the following parcels from the large-scale ground-mounted solar overlay district. And I will read the entire article for the record, so bear with me.
I think the first one's for the 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. It's Article 19. I apologize.
Yes.
So I'll start from the top. To see if the town will vote to amend the zoning bylaw by authorizing the construction of house-scale multifamily dwellings containing up to 5 dwelling units by right in areas of 1/4 mile of the business redevelopment districts, provided that the lot served by municipal sewer, the water with adequate capacity determined by the Department of Public Works, at least 1 dwelling unit within each building is restricted in perpetuity as an affordable housing unit for households earning no more than 80% of the area median income pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 121B, Section 38D, and subject to a regulatory agreement approved by the Select Board and the Massachusetts Department of Housing and Community Development, DHCD, to meet SHI standards. The building is designed to be consistent as house-scale residential structures typical of Falmouth's traditional neighborhoods, with maximum building footprint, height, and bulk to be defined in the bylaw to preserve neighborhood character as set forth in the zoning bylaw, or take any other action relative thereto on behalf of Eric. Help me with your last name.
Hrinjevich.
And say it one more time.
Hrinjevich.
Okay. And others.
Hi, guys. So, good evening. Thanks for having me. We introduced this just to open kind of some debate. This petition is based on guidance from Smart Growth Cape Cod, the Housing Assistance Corporation, and Association to Preserve Cape Cod. And it's also based on some similar bylaw amendments that were introduced in especially towns in the Connecticut River Valley that also have large seasonal populations, trying to address housing needs while reducing impacts on municipal infrastructure and the environment. And this article is written in relation to the mixed residential commercial overlay district for residential areas that are walking distance from centrally located businesses, with stipulations for suitable municipal sewer and water. Not sure why the presentation's not working. That's a bummer. Okay, so I
Can we see where this is, Jed, at least on the GS map? Can you?
yeah, I do have it in the presentation as well, but I'm not sure why it's not working.
We have a good map, but should be able to see it.
So the area that currently would be eligible is basically along Worcester Court down to Jericho Path, given the extent of sewering. Now, a big question about this is that the current sewer planning districts would probably not allow the additional capacity. So I assume most applications would be rejected at present because of the Department of Public Works. But yeah, so the given area,
Hold on, can you show us what area you're talking about?
yeah, so the area that currently would be encompassed is this area over
They've
here.
already finished the sewer for that area.
Yeah, so there is sewer, but the issue is that the capacity may not be deemed suitable for the
Increased
sewer
flow.
equivalent units. So that's kind of a stipulation. I understand that you guys will probably vote just to postpone this,
second.
but I wanted to bring,
Wait a second,
Yeah.
that's not even our jurisdiction. That's net zero. That is a selectman's issue about the sewer, not ours.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make it clear, we're,
sorry if that's confusing. No, I
well,
might
it's
have just
just
kind
not
of
our
jumped the
job to do
gun.
that. I don't understand. Okay, keep going.
So this is making no modification to that. I was just saying that that's the given area, but the way it's written currently, without changes to the infrastructure, it won't actually allow probably building, but, yeah, so the area is, it's a quarter mile
Oh,
from,
it's Alma Road, Russell Road.
Let him give
I
his
just can't-
presentation. I know, but let him give his presentation.
It'd be nice if he showed us where it was.
I'm sorry, my USB is not working, not sure why, yeah.
I can't tell what he's talking about.
Do you want me to try to troubleshoot that?
Sure, yeah.
You can draw,
I
you can go on
also
this and draw
emailed it
lines
to you.
about it and say, this is it. I have no idea what he's talking about.
So you've got a presentation in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. This guy? Let's try to repair. Can't be repaired. All right. So it doesn't want to open it and doesn't want to repair it. Would you be okay with me trying to do it on my machine and then bringing it over? Okay. In the meantime, proceed.
Sure, yeah. So the given area it's in relation to the business redevelopment district specifically. So it's a quarter mile radius, and also, but is served by sewer and water. So the way that is currently encompasses is it basically goes from down Worcester Court until it intersects with Jericho Path, and then over to the water on each side, essentially. So that's the area that is encompassed. Now, if sewer were to be expanded in the future, then obviously it would encompass other areas as well. This area specifically is identified as one of the high priority areas by Association to Preserve Cape Cod and Housing Assistance Corp., as well as obviously being served by the infrastructure suitable. And it also helps address the lack of missing middle housing in the town. So Falmouth has one of the lowest percentages of multifamily housing amongst our neighbors, and that helps drive general issues with housing attainability. And the house scale nature of it helps to prevent disruptions to the local neighborhood. So it still would follow current setback requirements and general scale and bulk. And additionally, it has the benefit of matching kind of like what exists. If you look at the historic district, there's a lot of areas that were multifamily historically, and you can see that even along the town green. So that's kind of to give an image of what it could look like. And also this helps combat the issue of mansionization, which was identified in multiple consulting reports to the town, starting back in 2014 with the RGK consultants report, which identified, you can see it especially when you walk along that road. A lot of people buy a small attainable house. They build pretty much the largest house that can be allotted with the current bylaw, and then it's one person who may or may not actually live there, often a seasonal resident. So this would help to kind of address that. If you have people who are building spec houses as opposed to building a large house that may not even serve a full-time resident, you could serve multiple residents. Now I understand that petition article maybe not the best process, so I understand if you guys want to postpone this and stuff, but I think the group of us that submitted it just wants to kind of bring this up for debate. I think it's in line with kind of the work that you guys have been doing in general, and trying to kind of just keep up with the idea of how can we preserve our resources while also meeting the needs for housing. Yeah, and I think the great idea is that this could, you could have multi-generational housing here for a town that a lot of people are aging in place and stuff. If somebody wanted to convert their house to have additional units, they could have, grandchildren on the floor below with renters in a certain part of the building. Yeah.
Not working.
Not working? Okay, that's fine. I
You're
can
doing fine,
email
you're
it all
doing
to you
fine,
guys.
you're doing fine.
Sweet. Thank you.
So we'll ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Bob?
I think this is a discussion worth having, and I think you're right in assuming that this isn't the proper avenue to go down. Being a veteran of numerous bylaws for the town of Falmouth, and we go through a rigorous process of public meetings and drafts after drafts and consultants and all that, but I really do think this is something that should be an agenda item that we actually do have public hearings about, to discuss it, and maybe craft a bylaw that could kind of dovetail with some of the things that we've already done.
Thank you. Jim?
I'm not clear exactly what he's talking about here. I don't think he has. You want to this is residential C, and you want to rezone it to business, multifamily, what is it?
Yeah, so it's still all residential, but it allows for multifamily housing that is house scale. So as opposed to having people put in an apartment building or
So
something.
you're creating another zoning district that doesn't exist. I mean, this is residential C, single family. They also allow an accessory unit by right.
Yeah, so that's a question I honestly personally had when we were writing this, that I think it kind of does toe the line between a zoning district and a modification of bylaw. The important point of it being that we want it to be in relation to existing business and infrastructure, as opposed to just like creating a new district that could be applied any kind of random place. So that was like the rationale.
You keep using the term business, and this is residentially zoned. What, do you mean you want to turn it into a business district?
No, it's within 1/4 mile of the business redevelopment district.
Within walking distance.
So it's within walking distance of where there are businesses. So, but it still is strictly residential. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
No, don't leave.
Oh,
Got more?
sorry.
We got 5 more.
Well, not only that,
Yeah.
but there may be people there who want to
course.
comment too. I think you're on the right track. And I don't have anything to add to it now because I'd be wasting our time to do that, I think, when it needs more work. Thank you.
Paul?
No comment.
It's worth exploring, and I agree with Bob. Let's get it on the agenda.
Yeah, one of the things, we've had some discussions about zoning duplexes in, I don't know, about a 5-unit complex on a lot. And if you're going to proceed with anything like this, you should consider size of the lot, et cetera, et cetera. And I think staff could even have some conversations with you that might help you get a little bit further along with a good concept.
Great.
Anyone in the audience want to participate in this? Any questions, any comments? Okay, well, thank you very much.
I just want to point one, this Falmouth GIS tool that we have here, it's open to the public, everyone can use it.
Yeah, I
And
actually.
you could draw on it, and you could put your lines in, and you could do it all and make a presentation, we could see it.
Yeah,
You could do it at home.
I have a presentation, but it wasn't working on the USB
Okay.
stick. Yeah, I really do apologize about that. I did email it to you. I don't know if it would be possible to pull it up. I mean, I don't know if it's a waste of people's time, but
All right,
yeah,
I'm
if
just,
it's helpful.
Look-
I also, it would be good to just, since I think you guys are going to vote to postpone and stuff, I could just send it to you and we could talk about it conceptually, as opposed to like in regard to the specific article.
Yeah. Keep thinking.
Happy to meet with you and discuss future zoning amendments anytime.
Yeah, and I'll get other people into the conversation, because it's not just about me. Yeah.
Great.
All right, thank you. So our next article is, our next hearing is Article 14. The proposed Article 14. Tom? You read the solar?
Am I reading? Article 14. To see if the town will vote to amend the official zoning map of the town of Falmouth to remove the following parcels from the large-scale ground-mounted solar overlay district. Number 1, assessors parcel 1003001, 163, known as 41 Theater Drive, and containing approximately 45.06 acres. Number 2, assessors parcel 10-04007035, known as 0 Boxberry Hill Road, and containing approximately 41.49 acres. Number 3, assessors parcel 17-01028039, known as 48 Theater Drive, containing approximately 48.65 acres. And number 4, assessors parcel 17-01-028A-015, known as 59 Theater Drive, and containing approximately 3.39 acres. Number 5, portion of a private way known as Theater Drive, which lies to the north and northwest of the westerly property line of assessors parcel 17-01-028-134, which is 20 Theater Drive, including without limitation the cul-de-sac and all parking areas within the bounds of Theater Drive described herein. Number 6, assessors parcel 10-03-001A-161, known as 290 Boxberry Hill Road, and containing approximately 1.56 acres. Number 7, assessors parcel 10-03-001-162, known as 0 Boxberry Hill Road, and containing approximately 1.08 acres. And 8, assessors parcel 10-03-001-160, known as 0 Boxberry Hill Road, and containing approximately 0.68 acres, or do or take any other action on this matter on behalf of Friends of Cape Cod Country Club. Do I continue reading?
No, that's it.
That's it, okay.
Thank you. For the applicant?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and the members of the board. My name is Richard Hamilton. I'd like to request to leave a copy of my testimony with you. If I could approach the
Certainly.
table.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My comments for the Town of Falmouth Planning Board come from the Friends of Cape Cod Country Club. The Town of Falmouth is certainly a very well-managed community that has always valued input from its citizens. The Planning Board studies and makes recommendations on the long-term growth of Falmouth while reviewing site plans, special permits under zoning bylaws, and subdivisions under the subcontrol law for the benefit of the present and future generations. We are concerned that the destruction of an open space asset would cost an estimated $20 million to replace, with a 97-year history, to be converted into a mega solar industrialized project that the Falmouth community will have to live with for the next 20 to as long as 60 years, per the proposed lease. Many of us support alternative energy sources and, in fact, have solar on our homes. The Friends are not against solar power per se, if in fact the town of Falmouth community desires a large solar farm. Rather than allowing this green recreational space and natural habitat to become a large-scale ground-mounted solar overlay district, wouldn't it make sense to erect solar panels in multiple parking lots of the Steamship Authority, similar to what was built on the parking lots of the Barnstable Fairgrounds along Route 151, or perhaps under large utility lines, or using more traditional sites such as landfills? Of great concern to the Friends is the major issue of solar panel disposal at the end of the lease. In 20 to as long as 60 years, when the solar panels become decommissioned, Falmouth will be faced with a challenge of solar panel disposal. Falmouth will be faced with the challenge of the disposing of these panels. The panels contain 75% glass, 10% aluminum, 10% polymers, and silicon metals of 5%. Plus, some panels qualify as hazardous waste due to heavy metals of lead and cadmium. For example, Las Vegas was an early adopter of using solar panels for their energy needs. Currently, they are facing an expensive dilemma as solar farms transition offline, and solar company investors have been shielded from the disposal and contamination costs via bankruptcy. The majority of the world's solar panels are currently made in China. In summary, this is an okay project, but at the wrong location. Don't destroy an open space asset to build a mega solar farm. Friends of Cape Cod Country Club would ask the Planning Board to recommend to the town meeting members and to the Select Board to rescind the solar overlay zoning that was voted by the town meeting during the COVID pandemic of 2021. It was a time of great limiting of conversation, discussion, and certainly people in this country are under a lot of stress at that time. We are asking the Planning Board to consider recommending the town meeting members pause to review all of the additional information being provided and not rush into a project that will make this area of Falmouth the solar farm capital of Cape Cod and retreating on open space values. Please stop and think about the scope and location of this unsightly mega project before we make a huge mistake. I'd like you to take a look at the third page of my handout. I just made a couple of notations to bring to your attention of some social media sites. One happens to be a petition website. When I prepared this testimony yesterday at 2 p.m., we had about 3,151 people signing the petition against this solar project. If you check the social media site right now, there's an additional 100 people who have signed that petition. And this is growing in great momentum. We've also cited other social media sites for Falmouth, where you will find some very helpful and some interesting comments in terms of the volume of people that are really upset about this proposal. We appreciate your thoughtful consideration of this request. Very much, the Friends of Cape Cod Country Club.
See if we can ask you a few questions if we have any. Paul?
Yeah, I just had a question. You're certainly entitled to submit a petition for an article at town meeting, but I'm curious, is the organization Friends of Cape Country Club, is that a formal organization or is it an ad hoc group?
It's an ad hoc group. It's interesting, Mr. Dryer, earlier this year, a lot of
Well, I'm
people...
not arguing the point, I'm
Yeah.
just curious who they
No.
were.
Interesting people, a lot of people are talking about this, and I sort of made it a personal mission to ask everyone for their thoughts, their input, their concerns, their support. And it's been an eye-opening experience, and we're trying to convey, we feel that that's major decision that's going to impact Falmouth for so many years, with your guidance of really good planning for the town of Falmouth, to really, if you'd consider supporting our request to withdraw the solar overlay vote from town meeting to the town meeting members for their ultimate vote. We'd really appreciate your support on this.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, any questions?
No, it's pretty cut and dry. Yeah.
Jim?
Is he asking to take away the whole solar way thing or just certain pieces of it?
Asking to rezone the property.
Oh, the property is zoned residential, agricultural.
Excuse me, would you share what is zoned out right now?
Yeah, well, so the article intends to remove certain parcels from the overlay district. So it's not changing the zoning, it's just removing those parcels from the overlay.
And what's the underlying zoning?
In that district, or in that area, it's agricultural, single A, I believe.
Yeah.
But we can verify.
We don't have a plan of these parcels, we're just numbers is all we got.
Correct.
Can we see it on the map?
Yeah, we could show it. You could just click on all the lots real quick and we could see it.
Yeah, we could do it. So it is this one, this one,
Okay.
this one. Believe that is everything. And I'll turn on, sorry, the satellite so that folks can see what that looks like. But generally speaking, those are the parcels that are being,
Still leaving part of the golf club there, is that supposed to be in it too?
yes, I believe this is an additional one. I apologize.
Okay.
And so let me turn on the overlay district to give you a sense of what that looks like. So currently, the overlay district encompasses not only that site, but also
That's much
other
clearer,
sites in
thank
town.
you. Now I understand.
When was it?
What is the current zoning then, of these parcels? Is it solar, or is it agricultural, or is it?
I think you're just trying to get me to go past that camera.
Yeah. So,
It's,
That's the
So-
question.
yeah, were they
click on it,
recreation?
just light up the zoning, we'll see it.
Single A, Ag A, and then there's some Business 3 district, right, where the cul-de-sac is.
Is it an overlay district for solar?
Yes, yes. So once again, it would not, the article itself does not propose to change the base zoning at all. That would remain in place. What it does propose to do is essentially remove these parcels as shown on the screen, just these that I'm circling, from the overlay district, which is
So,
this size in town. So there are 3 independent areas in town where the solar overlay district applies to. It's over here in the center and over on this area.
And what would,
What's the one to the left, Jed, that you pointed out? Right.
So, yeah, so this is the tech park, and this is Thomas Lander's site. There's blacksmith shop that runs southerly, and 2 solar fields already permitted.
And the landfill, is that?
And the landfill,
We said
the
landfill.
cap landfill, yep.
Jed, the last time we rezoned this, are these parcels shown on the plan when we did the rezoning last time, so they could simply use that same plan, we all, town meeting could see what they're talking about?
I would imagine there was, but I haven't confirmed that yet. I do know that for the town meeting warrant book,
there is a map showing this site
Okay.
within the appendix. So in the book, there'll be a
I don't see
map.
how we could vote on it without having it on the map.
Jed, what would the underlying zoning allow?
Good question. So agricultural single A.
Yeah.
Real big.
So that way everyone at home can see what it would allow.
Can you stand up to the podium and take the questions?
There's a variety of different uses within the single A district. And they're shown up on the screen here. So it would be all in the center. So things such as single-family homes. As you can see, the community services items, municipal uses, some accessory uses, again, all in this center column. Special permit uses. So a lot of accessory uses, but then items like, as an example, an airport landing strip, a boat storage facility, commercial accommodations, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So again, it wouldn't change any of that base zoning.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
I just wanted to bring that up so people know.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I have a question for the applicant. Have you reached out to any conservation groups that, because I assume you either want to keep it as a golf course or conservation land? Because if you look at, whenever I look at a project, I look at what other uses something could be used for. And I kind of always lean towards the lesser of two evils. And if this property was purchased by a developer, and you think of the number of housing units that could go on there, that could be Saxon size units, 300 unit buildings, things like that. So that's how I look at when I voted on this, and the fact that, okay, this isn't what I would really like to see there. I would like to see it left as a golf course myself. But when I looked at what it possibly could have become, 130 to 150 houses on that property, I didn't want to see that either. So I'm just wondering if you have reached out to any type of organization that could purchase this property either as a golf course or as conservation land.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Leary. Several members of the Friends of Falmouth Country Club are on the 300 committee, and many others are financial supporters of the committee. So I can't speak for them, but I know there's direct involvement and conversation. Again, just really in summary, we'd ask the planning board to consider recommending for town meeting warrant to simply pause. We'd like more thorough conversation with the community. This is a 20 to 60 year investment that you're going to be recommending to the town. It warrants, I think, a thorough discussion. And there are, as I said, we're pro-solar, but not on that site.
It sounds to me like what you're asking this board to do is to approve the zoning article so town meeting can make a decision. They've already made a decision in the past.
Yes.
And
Yes,
you think-
Mr.
you
Joe,
think
that's
that-
correct. We'd ask if you would vote to support this article, we'd much appreciate your
That's what you're asking us
support.
to do, support this article so the town meeting could make a vote on it.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you for summarizing that.
So we'll just go right through the articles. I know there's probably someone in opposition to this article. Let them speak later on, but anyone in support of this article will just come up and give their name and make a statement, please.
Robert Young, in full disclosure, I'm a member of the Golf Advisory Committee, and I'm also a town meeting member, but I'm speaking here as a citizen of the town to support Rick's article. Dear Planning Board, we voted at a special town meeting in June of 2021, and I do have a copy of that overlay district map you were talking about, to extend the town's solar overlay district to include property comprised of a Cape Cod Country Club. Prior zoning did not permit construction of a solar farm on that property. I believe we were in a fervor when we made that decision, similar to the vote we took with the windmills near town disposal facility, a new electric power source that was for the greater good. However, we found out that it was in the mistake putting those windmills too close to the neighborhood, not in the right place. Now, with those same thoughts in mind, we are creating new electric energy for the greater good. We are excited by proposing a solar farm to be built on Cape Cod Country Club, and that was at the COVID time in 2021. And we had our meeting that night at the high school. However, like the placement of the windmills, putting a solar farm on a beautiful piece of property in a neighborhood adjacent to town open space and Coonamessett Pond is again the wrong place. Solar farms are better placed on land that is previously disturbed, such as brownfields, sand pits, parking lots, rooftops, and other such areas. Destroying an historic 100-year-old successfully operating golf course with mature forests is the wrong place. Planning board members should also take into consideration that this would be the 5th largest solar array placed in East Falmouth. Currently, we have the town of Falmouth disposal area, and I don't know if you've been up there to see how big that is. You should take a ride up there. It's massive, and that's 11,000 panels. That would be 1/4 the size of the array that they're proposing. They want 44,000 panels on that solar array at the golf club. We also have Kenyon's Market, Falmouth Ice Arena, Cape Cod Fairgrounds, 69 acres, and the Steamship Authority parking lot has been approved for 1.9 at that location. These are all good spots for a solar farm. The current solar proposal will be the largest in the state with 44,000 panels. And this is something that really gets me. It's surrounded by a 7-foot-high chain link fence. Appropriate planning for these residents of East Falmouth should not have another industrial solar array. These facts should be strongly considered by the board. I ask you to support Rick Hamilton and remove the solar overlay zoning district that includes Cape Cod Country Club by recommending Article 14 when it goes to town meeting. And that's my testimony, and I'd like to give this to the chair.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
My name is Rosemarie Gilgun. From 1977 to 1985, John F. Gilgun Jr. and his partner owned Cape Cod Country Club. That was my dad. Cape Cod Country Club was named at my dinner table by my mother. So to say this is very sentimental to me is an understatement. It's a historic golf course that will turn 100 years old in 2028. In 1924, Hull and Emmett designed the golf course. They had 150 golf courses worldwide, and they were very recognized golf architects. It's a public course. It's a draw for our town. People come down to relax and play golf. There's not a lot of public golf courses left around. It was misrepresented that this was a losing money proposition. It was presented that way to the town of Falmouth as well as the Cape Cod Commission. The National Golf Foundation data sheets say 4.4 million more golfers are playing today than in 2020. Offer the property to sale as a golf course. Maybe the town of Falmouth wants to buy another golf course. We could lease the golf course. Hyannis has 2 public courses that they offer a membership to as well. There's nothing wrong with having a second golf course in town. Another one of the golf courses that was involved in this group, Green Meadow, was a 36-hole golf course that was destroyed for a $120 million property, million-dollar deal to Target. We, the people of Falmouth that have to go by that every day and look at what a degradation of this property is going to look like, we get absolutely nothing out of this. My electric bill is not going to change, but we're going to be left with a stripped piece of worthless property. There's only one person that's making out in this deal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and the board. My name is David Craig. I'm a private citizen. I've lived in Falmouth for 35 years. I want to speak about the negative environmental impact by losing the golf course. So here's a couple of statistics to have in mind. First, it's about the trees. The trees are carbon sinks. There are approximately 4,000 trees on that 18-hole golf course. What do trees do? Through photosynthesis, they take sunlight and water, and they convert CO2 in the air. That's what's driving this whole electric vehicle and emissions push, is to eliminate CO2, which is what we breathe, which impacts our health. Trees are nature's carbon sink. They take carbon dioxide from the air, convert it, and put it in the ground as a tree and roots where it sits for centuries, until the bulldozers from the developer come and strip virtually all the trees off that land to put up the solar arrays. I'm shocked to hear it's 44,000. So here's the numbers. There's about 4,000 trees, round numbers, on that 18-acre golf course. Each tree sequesters 48 pounds of carbon. You could pick up like a 50-pound bushel of carbon in your hand, times 4,000. That's about 200,000 pounds of carbon that don't exist in the air anymore because they're sequestered via the trees. So the question I have is that what will the developer do to mitigate for this town, not his pocketbook, but this town, the loss of 200,000 pounds of carbon sink, which we have, by developing it into a solar farm? That's a question I'd like the planning board to consider in supporting this petition to have the town pause and think about all the issues, this is just one, of the loss of that beautiful green space on the east side of town. Any questions you would have of me?
Any questions?
Okay. I thank you for your consideration.
And I want to make it very clear that what we're here for this evening is not to rezone this property or not to change it from a golf course to a solar farm or to a hotel or to a housing development. We're here to either support the application from the
I think these speakers are trying to present the facts that you might consider it and saying, let's look at this, let's pause.
We're only going to vote to support or not support to a town meeting.
Correct. And the town will decide, not you, the town will decide. But we ask for your support in putting it in front of the town.
Okay, appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm going to take any up until about 9 o'clock, and then we're going to have to hear from, I'm sure that there's an opposition here, because we're going to be here forever if we don't. I'm sure everyone has pretty much the same thing to say, but in a little different way, so.
I'll try to be quick. My name's Roberta Mock. I live off of Twin Brooks in Hyannis, and I was devastated as I started researching this. Anyway, I'm trying to be quick. I work in finance, so I know about LLCs and about Carlisle, and I wanted to find out who is doing this, who's hiding, because there's not a lot of transparency in the applicant. One layer upon layer of LLCs. What I did late night search was find that one of the LLCs, they spun off an LLC from Australia called Palisades. I looked that up with the SEC, and I don't know if it's the same, but and then the other one I think was from Toronto. Any rate, two LLCs, money managers that have nothing to do with solar farms. They just are after getting the money that they will make for transmission lines, which make our electricity bills go higher. So I felt that's important for us to know. I don't know. I think the problem is that I don't know if the Cape Cod Commission has done their due diligence. And it's falling upon you, and it's creating a lot of problems. Plus, I mean, I'm going to jump here. It's a historical event happened in 1960 here with Arnold Palmer. I mean, he flew in to Falmouth and got a birdie at the volcano 14th hole. That's a big deal. And we're coming upon 100 years. Let's slow this down. I think that I've spent a lot of sleepless nights feeling sick about this. I actually talked with the chairman of the tribes of the Wampanoag because it really upset me that our history and Thanksgiving coming, that there was no respect for the fact that okay, they had an agenda. I mean, what do you call it? They had a 14, but there was no presence of a Wampanoag tribe in Coonamessett. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's not good planning. That's not being a good steward of the land. We just recently lost Jane Goodall, and I don't know if anyone's had a chance to see her on Netflix, but each one of what we do, I mean, she did she presented a movie that she wanted to release after her death to tell us that everything that we do makes a difference. It's the choices that we make a difference. And I was so moved by that. I highly recommend everyone on the planning board watch that before this gets decimated, because it's criminal. It's criminal, and I mean, we don't want to go on the side of history that, you know what, we messed up and there's nothing we can do about it.
Well,
That's sad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Catherine Christensen. I live at 32 Partridge Lane, and I just wanted to say that my family represents 5 generations of golfers at the Cape Cod Country Club. My grandfather played there when he used to stay in Megansett. We're very supportive of all of this, but I just wanted you to be aware of, in East Windsor, Connecticut, I read something in Boston.com today, where what happened is they built a very similar thing to this. They approved it and built it. And this is near a residential area that's going to impact property values. There was a fire, a serious fire. Exploding transformers resulted in fire there at this particular solar array. There's a high-pitched buzz or ringing noise produced by the facility's power inverters during bright sunny days. So that's just one of many consequences. So let's not rush to get this done to take advantage of the tax credits, because that's what this big corporation is all about. And think about this, 5,000 truckloads of this beautiful earth is going to be removed. Where is it going? Who's getting all the money for this? So there's, again, we're living in an era, and here it is, short-term corporate gains for long-term negative consequences for Falmouth, with many unknowns for future generations to face.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Judy Atkinson. I own a home at the corner of Ashumet and Boxbury. I'm very concerned about this project because my property value is going to plummet if that goes through. I don't know who would want to buy a home on a beautiful piece of property that it is right now, and then to turn it into a solar farm. So what's going to happen to the property values? Who's going to help me when that goes down? Who gets the electricity when it's generated? Is it going to stay in Falmouth? Are they going to sell it to Falmouth? Are they going to take? That's one question I have. Another question is, I never saw a purchase and sale agreement from Friel to anybody in the public. I have a lot of friends. I've played at Cape Cod Country Club, but I've never seen a price tag put on it for people to get together and buy it. It's just not the way we should be going. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, thank you for entertaining this. This article, I think you need to entertain in a serious way.
Your name, please?
There's never been...
name for the record?
Carrie Murphy, I'm sorry, Precinct 7. Thanks, Jim, for that. There's never been, when you talk about a purchase and sale, there is a purchase and sale on this property, I believe. No one can see it. It's not a public document. I think there's certain triggers in there that he has to satisfy before it goes away, and one of them was the Cape Cod Commission, which our representative voted against. In terms of selling it, he's never put a price on it. There's been some articles in the paper that said that he approached the 300 committee about that. I asked the 300 committee about that this afternoon. He never did. He hasn't put a price on this parcel. If he did, people in the golf industry would know it. chairman of the Golf Advisory Committee. I just got done interviewing 3 firms, including Troon Golf, which is the largest golf management purchase company in the country. Kemper Golf, which is out of Chicago, and another company from Nantucket. And the iconic name of Cape Cod Country Club would draw interest. He needs to put a price on it. And what we're asking you to do is to, like they say, slow it down, pause it, let's have a bigger discussion about how big that parcel is. When this passed, I don't think people knew the enormity of the damage that is going to be done out there. I really don't. I lived in Hatchville. I was your neighbor. So this is very, very close to me. There's almost a visceral reaction I have about it. Look, I sat on this board as a member of the Board of Selectmen in this room, and I follow politics and I follow this process pretty well. I never knew this was happening because he wasn't even telling his own employees that it was happening. He's kept it secret from them. He's fired an employee who stood up at the town meeting in 2021. He fired him for getting up and speaking against it. He's got employees who he still to this day is not telling them what is going on.
I think that's really out of our purview here. We're talking about zoning, so.
We're talking about zoning.
Not about an article. We're not talking about.
The very zoning you did, it would be nice if it was reversed.
Oh, thank you.
Just to pause it. And I think you really need to seriously entertain this from a zoning standpoint. If somebody talks about housing and you want to change the zoning, let it come to that. But right now, you need to pause this project and give the people in this community time to have a more holistic discussion about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, this board does not have the authority to rezone this property. That's not what this is about. This hearing is to see if we'll recommend or not recommend an article from a petitioner, which has been presented this evening.
And we're urging that you do that, please.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
So I take one more, and then if the, okay, we're all set? Thank you. Would you like to say anything, or are you all set? Mr. Terry?
Thank you, Mr. Julie, for the opportunity. Again, for the record, my name's Matt Terry. I'm with the law firm of Baumann Clower in Falmouth. I, for the last 7 years, had been representing the applicant for the current permitting process, Pure Sky Energy, who's been in discussions with and has a purchase and sale agreement with the current owner of the Cape Cod Country Club. Intimately involved over the last 7 years in the entire permitting process, which includes very thorough public discussions predating the 2021 appearance at the Planning Board in the spring, where the board voted unanimously to recommend placing this property in the solar overlay district. When that zoning article then went to town meeting, it passed by over 80% of the vote, 2/3 required, and it was well over 80% of the town meeting members voted to place this property into the solar overlay district. A few things that I wanted to hit up at the top. The first is to recommend that the board recommend indefinite postponement of the article at town meeting. That the Board of Selectmen meeting was being held this evening contemporaneously with this meeting. They had this article in front of them as well. The town manager, in his report to the Board of Selectmen, recommended indefinite postponement, and I would urge the Planning Board to recommend the same for town meeting in November. There have been a lot of misinformation this evening stated as fact, and I wanted to quickly run through some of, I think, the more important, especially for those who are relatively new to the project, notwithstanding the amount of public discussion and debate that's gone on. There was an article in this last Friday's Falmouth Enterprise that had a number of interviews. The current owner was interviewed, and he did reiterate something that he's said publicly and privately on numerous occasions, which is that this course has not been making money for quite some time. So he decided, starting in 2019, to look for purchasers of the property. He has not been approached at any point in the process of trying to sell it by anyone who wants to keep it as a golf course. The two categories of potential buyers have been developers of housing and developers of solar. So to Mr. Leary's point earlier, I think part of the reason why this solar project enjoyed so much support when it first came into public light 4 or 5 years ago was because the residents of Falmouth could make an affirmative decision about what these 145 acres were going to be. And to undo that and risk having this property sold to a developer could result in something very similar to what Falmouth is experiencing on Main Street with Liberty Green, that there were several less intensive projects proposed for that site that were opposed, rejected, and now there's a very dense 40B development that folks are a lot less pleased with. Really the highest and best use with respect to the market has been housing and solar. It will not remain as a golf course. There are just no buyers out there who want to keep it as a golf course. The town has gone on record at Board of Selectmen meetings as saying that the town has no interest in acquiring a second golf course, that the first golf course that they currently own is a handful, and they have neither the money nor the inclination to acquire and operate a second public golf course. They're also, from a pricing standpoint, are not private conservation entities that can purchase this golf course. We've certainly reached out to a number of different conservation agencies as we've had discussions around this project, and none of them have expressed interest in purchasing the course. A few just quick things. The lease would be 40 years in a maximum, not 60. There is no risk that the town would be stuck with removing the panels as part of the arrangements and legal agreements that are entered into up front. There's a decommissioning agreement where the applicant would submit a bond that would be good for the lifetime of the array. That bond, in the off chance that the owner-operator of the solar array was no longer around, would fund the removal cost of the array. So the town wouldn't be faced with a challenge of disposal. It would all be taken care of through the bond arrangement, which again is all done up front and will be brought before the planning board as part of the site plan review. No panels used on this project will be contained or considered hazardous material. There are going to be, as currently proposed, about 50 acres of permanently conserved open space. And the balance of the acreage out of the 145 will be reserved for general municipal use after the array has been removed at the end of the lease. 137 acres are going to be donated to the town as part of the structure that Pure Sky Energy has negotiated with the town and entered into a non-binding MOU with the Board of Selectmen. So the town of Falmouth gets 137 acres for $0. It gets ground lease rent for somewhere between 25 and 40 years. It gets tax revenue in the form of payment in lieu of taxes. And folks who are income qualifying will see reduced electrical bills. We have significant support from neighbors, abutters, members of the larger Coonamessett Pond community. One of our earliest and biggest supporters is the Coonamessett Pond Association, the Lockstead Association, which is a local homeowners association, has been a huge supporter. Both as a board and individual members have written letters of support to the town and to the Cape Cod Commission. The project also has the support of the Energy Committee, the Board of Selectmen, the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, and many other individual abutters. The reason why we have so much support from so many folks who live so close to this property is because, to Mr. Leary's point, they know that out of all of the options that are available for this 145 acres, this is the least intensive use that can be made of it. and that it is the healthiest choice for Coonamessett and Round Pond. As part of an agreement between Pure Sky and the Coonamessett Pond Association, Pure Sky has agreed to pay for a $410,000 10-year water quality study of Coonamessett Pond. The current golf course operation, as you can imagine, is fairly intensive from an environmental standpoint. It's heavily managed, it's heavily manicured, there are pesticides and fertilizers used. The golf course conversion into a solar array drops the nitrogen numbers from well above acceptable usage to almost background, which is part of the reason why the Cape Cod Commission voted 14-1 to approve it. They recognized the environmental benefits. A couple just closing points. Out of the 145 acres, 10 acres will be cleared of current trees. That includes the number of acres that are essentially functionally cleared, where it's standalone trees that are part of the golf course in between fairways. The understory is managed. So out of that large amount of acreage, really a very small number of acreage will be cleared. We are going to replant a multiple of that acreage with new trees, in addition to the 47 acres that are permanently conserved right off the bat when donated to the town, and the additional conserved acreage, functionally conserved acreage around Round Pond. Have also committed to providing a trail network that connects Coonamessett Pond and Round Pond to the existing conservation areas that already ring the Cape Cod Country Club, so that it can be a public amenity from day one. So in conclusion, and just one final point, there are no truckloads of dirt and nothing will be leaving the site, nothing will be brought to the site as part of reconstituting this property as a solar array. There'll be earth moving, it will all be contained on site. So nothing coming or nothing leaving the property. So in conclusion, I would recommend to the board to recommend to town meeting indefinite postponement of this article. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, one more person, then the board's going to make a discussion here. And your name, please?
Hi, I'm Nick Lowell, Precinct 8. I live at 27 Adamansett Road, and I came to encourage you to recommend indefinite postponement for this article. I live at the southern end of the pond. I am very concerned about the water quality in the pond. I'm concerned about the runoff from the existing golf course. I'm very concerned about the potential for a large residential development. That's potential for that. That's why, as a town meeting member 4 years ago, I voted in favor of the ground solar array. I note that the planning board voted in favor of the zoning change, and the town meeting voted very strongly in favor of the overlay. And I don't see what has changed 4 years later that makes that a bad decision. If anything, it seems like it's even more needed now. We know we need the solar, and we know that the pond, which recently had a cyanobacteria bloom, is suffering, and I think this is the right step forward. And then I'd like to say that we can't save the Cape Cod Country Club by either adding or removing this overlay. That decision is up to the owner and the new owner, if there will be one. They have to decide what he wants to do with it. If he wanted to sell it to the 300 committee or give it to them, he could do that. He appears not to want to do that. So we have to be thinking about what's best for the town. What's best for the town, I think, is to give an option as a solar option and leave that on the table. Last thing I'll say is that, at the town meeting, there's some discussion here that it was rushed or that we didn't have time to really debate this back in 2021, but it was a long debate. I did not time it, but I did look at the minutes. There are many pages of minutes from the discussion of this article and the articles around it. This was well thought out. I don't see that bringing this back with a positive recommendation is going to change the result. And I think we should hold the course that was plotted 4 years ago. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other comments from the board members? No? Okay, so I'll make a couple of comments. Having sat on this hearing with the Cape Cod Commission, and it was voted by the commission 14-1 to support the solar array here. The dissenting vote was myself. And I think that listening to the audience that we have here this evening, that they're a little bit surprised to see what this is actually going to look like. I don't think people are opposed to solar, but when you start to see the visual here, and as Mr. Terry said, there's not going to be any soil leaving the site, but there's going to be approximately 5,000 truckloads of soil moved around the site to level it off so you can put the solar panels. They're going to be 16 feet high, and there's going to be 3 miles of fencing, 7-foot fencing. So it's going to, maybe the vision of more like an industrial site than a golf course or homeowners living there has stirred some opposition to this. And I think I've received multiple calls and a couple of letters, so, and that's been the crux of it for the people that seem to be in support of this article. And I would like to ask, I don't know if Mr. Terry will discuss it or not, but I've asked before, when you look at all the area in yellow that's going to become the solar, there's one parcel not going to be solar. There's a 4th hole, a golf hole, and it's being purchased by the company that you represent. But no one wants to talk about what's going to happen to that parcel. There's not going to be any solar there, and you had mentioned that when we look at Main Street, we have 104 apartments in a small area. And I think some people are concerned that maybe that's what you guys are going to do with it at some point in time. Similar, not the same, similar. And if it's going to be housing, and if some people are concerned about it being housing, that's the threat. That doesn't mean it would be housing, but that is the threat. That if it's not solar, it's going to be housing. It can't possibly be a golf course anymore, but I mean theoretically. But if it's going to be housing, then the town should have that parcel also and decide what type of housing they would like to have on it, if any. Habitat for Humanity, Falmouth Housing Trust, something really nice and attractive and that helps our citizens. That we're trying to talk all the time about trying to help our citizens stay here and be able to afford to live here. So that's all I have to say on it. Now, do we need to vote on this site, Jed? Do we take this under advisement? What do we do here?
So you have to close the hearing first.
Okay.
Take it under advisement, but I would suggest that you debate it this evening because the warrant goes to the printer in 2 days. So we would like to have, and we need to have, a recommendation and an explanation for this to go to the printer.
Okay, can I get a motion to close the hearing then?
Well, I'd actually like to talk about it.
Okay. Well, we can talk about it after we close the hearing.
First.
You're just closing it for public input.
Oh, okay, fine, yes, I agree.
So I move that we close the hearing.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Okay.
Go ahead, no.
Well, I have a real concern about the amount of housing, the development here, and I would, before we, and I am going to vote I'm in favor of delaying this and giving the time to think about it, but one of the things we need to think about is what Bob brought up. I would like to have somebody say how many potential A&R lots are sitting there on the frontage of these streets that could be developed, houses that could just go and get a permit for and build houses right away. I think we should all know that, and I've never heard anyone discuss it, but the 7-foot chain link fence, I think we should give them, this needs more time and have more to talk about. So I am in favor of delaying it, giving the group more time to talk about it more. I'm really concerned about
Giving this
this.
board more time to talk about it.
Well,
But I don't think we have much time to talk about it.
no, they're asking for, the town, our recommendation of town meeting.
Right.
I'm in favor of going along with what they're recommending, a
Okay.
pause, is what
Okay.
I'm trying to say. It's hard when we're voting, are we voting yes or no?
Well, we're only going to vote to either support or not support and go to town meeting. Town meeting will make the decision.
Right.
We're not making any decision whether it's going to be this or that or anything else. They're just asking us to give town meeting an opportunity to discuss this and have a vote on it again, but
Yes.
maybe now with a little bit more information than they had 4 or 5 years ago.
I'm saying I'm in agreement with that.
Okay. Well,
I always worry about making sausage on town meeting floor. But I've tended to always allow a petitioner's article to go forward so that the town meeting does have a chance to debate it. So I would hate to see this turn into a solar farm. That was, but like I said before, I was looking at the lesser of two evils, and I was looking at what the plan was as far as how much disturbance there was going to be and things like that. The ponds were a concern, because I have people that do live down there, and they were in favor of this solar farm. So I'm willing to give town meeting the opportunity to debate it.
all right, thank you.
Either way.
Yeah.
Whether you're making a positive recommendation or not making a positive recommendation.
Yeah, we're making a discussion now.
Please straighten it out.
Yeah.
It is worth noting that no matter what your recommendation is, if you do recommend indefinite postponement, a member of town meeting can make a positive motion on the floor, and it's back up for debate.
But we at least get to express what we feel.
Right. So in putting in indefinite postponement doesn't necessarily not allow town meeting to debate it.
But voting as a support, it doesn't mean it gets supported at town meeting either.
That's correct as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am in favor of indefinite postponement. We had multiple hearings in front of this board about this whole thing. You remember how many hearings we had as to whether it should go solar or not. Where was everybody when we were debating this? Why weren't we hearing from these people while we were talking about it? And I'm not asking you to answer. I'm asking this as a rhetorical question. Why are we just hearing about this now? So I really am for indefinite postponement on this article. And as has been pointed out, if town meeting feels that they want to set that aside, they can vote to set it aside. But I feel kind of miffed when we spend so much time talking about it and voting it and hearing all the pros and cons, and then this happens at the last minute. That bothers me.
All right, thank you. Paul?
Well, I'm very much in favor of alternate energy sources, both solar and wind turbines. However, I think there's some really serious issues with this particular site. I mean, this is a wonderful site, former golf course.
Current golf course.
These people have been here for 3 hours waiting to talk about this. So they're clearly very interested in this. My feeling is, I think we should let it go forward, but we should recommend indefinite postponement, because there are a lot of issues that need to be discussed, but let town meeting make
Can we
that
do
decision.
both?
Yeah.
I don't think we can.
We can't do
So
both.
essentially, putting indefinite postponement does allow it to move forward to the warrant.
You go to a warrant, but you recommend indefinite postponement. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, Tom?
I support the article.
Okay. So do we need to take a vote on this?
You do.
How do we structure it?
Well, so I would suggest that you make a motion on the draft recommendation, and then you're going to have to help me craft an explanation, because
If we support it.
if you support it. So what's before you this evening is a draft explanation for an indefinite postponement recommendation. So
Well, how about if I move indefinite postponement? We take a vote on that,
Certainly do
and
that.
if it's voted down, then
You'd have to make a motion for the opposite and vote that.
So that means it's not supported, right?
An indefinite postponement means that you.
Not supporting or
Correct.
supporting?
You are not supporting the article as presented. But again, to clarify, and for everyone listening, it does not preclude it from being on the warrant, and it does not preclude a member of town meeting providing a positive motion and bringing it back to debate on town meeting floor.
Or right now, somebody has to make a positive recommendation.
Correct.
And we take a vote on that, one way or the other.
So you want to make a motion?
I'd recommend indefinite postponement.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Well, that.
I'll second it for the vote.
Okay. All right. All right, everybody in favor, support of indefinite postponement, say aye.
Aye.
2. Opposed? Aye. 4.
So I would suggest that you make a motion to the opposite. Make a motion for supporting the article, make that vote, and then we can put that.
Okay.
I move we support the article.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
And opposed?
Opposed?
Aye.
Who's opposed?
So 4-2.
Okay, 4-2. Yeah, I understand, it may not carry any weight. This is town meeting, it's going to be town meeting's decision. Either way, it's going to be their decision.
Thanks for being patient out there.
We'll let the folks. Because you do have another article.
Just say thank you very much. You're quite welcome.
Well, good to see you. I think I am. I got to see a doctor.
I really
I got to get a release on Thursday.
You guys had come out when we were first discussing this.
Are we in adjournment here?
Yeah, no, we.
Put us in adjournment. Just adjourn us. Just temporarily. We shouldn't have this going on.
We have a
2-minute adjournment while we clear the room, please. We got to get back to work. Just didn't want to have
good point.
Discussion going on. She came up and was addressing us.
I know that, yeah.
No, Pat's right, though. That was my question, too. Where have these people been for the past 3 years?
They didn't remember what it looked like, Bob.
But still.
I just thought it'd be politically sensitive to give a voice.
Yeah. Well, that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to deal with it. That was a wasted.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah.
Well, you've seen the landfill.
Only there,
right? You imagine 4 times that amount? That's what it's going to be.
Listen,
I mean, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
if we can find a way to stop this becoming housing.
And the guy who owns the property, he can do what he wants with his property.
Well, we'll see what happens.
That's what I want to figure out.
Couldn't find somebody
But
else.
John's right. If the town were to buy it, that would be a different story.
The money and buy it.
You know, where we could then decide on what kind of.
But maybe a group of golfers will buy it.
Well, that's what I was hoping. That's why I brought that up.
He never put it on the market.
Yeah.
He made a deal with these guys, which is all right. This is America.
Yeah.
I go home now.
Okay, we all set?
Okay?
No?
Yeah, you're good.
Diet Cokes for
Must be a
everyone
ball
first?
game on
or
tonight
what?
or something.
Diet Cokes for everyone?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're back in session again. Thank you so much.
Get over it before you go.
So what do we need to?
Oh, we need to vote on this one.
Oh,
Yes, you have the other article.
Article 19, right?
No, 14. You voted 19 first. Don't ask me why you
Okay,
did it in order.
okay.
I'll make a motion to move for indefinite postponement
Second.
What is this? Article?
on Article 19,
No, 14.
14 rather, yeah.
No,
No, 19.
it's right, Article 19.
Article 19
We
is the
just
5.
voted on 19, didn't we?
No, we voted on 14.
Oh, we did?
14 is the solar,
14 is the
19 is the 5
Okay.
Is it what?
dwelling units. You got it.
Oh,
The young
yeah, I
man
got
was here.
that one twisted around, didn't I?
Well, then vote.
So
We got a motion?
we have a motion and
second?
a second for.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I didn't hear the motion.
The motion is to vote for indefinite postponement on Article 19,
The 5 houses per.
5 houses per.
that an aye, Paul?
Yeah.
Yes. Aye.
Tom? Aye. Okay, unanimous.
And for the record, are you okay with the draft explanation as written on Article 19?
I was.
Okay.
It's cold in
I
here.
had a question, Jed. Did that young man come to see you at all about how to make this presentation? What happened?
So we talked about, we did have a meeting. Can I just,
We can't close the door, just ask him.
We gotta tell them to leave.
No, we gotta keep going here. All right, so we're gonna do planning board discussion.
not quite yet.
Great,
Yep, not yet. So,
okay.
I just want to make sure that, going back to Article 14, so there was a vote to support the article as presented.
Yes.
Very quickly, what would you like the explanation to say? So again, this explanation as currently drafted anticipated an indefinite postponement recommendation, so it wouldn't make sense to, in my opinion, include it with the support of the article. However, it is relevant information as it relates to the impact or the potential impact of supporting the article. But again, I think it's worth you folks reading and just giving me a sense of it.
Sure. Go ahead, Jim.
I thought I heard something different. The last time, and I could be wrong, because I'm going back to during COVID, right? I thought that it was a 20-year lease and it was going to the town after that. And now I hear it's a 40-year lease, so
They're negotiating.
No, but that, to me, but that's a big change.
They could opt, it was a 20-year lease, they could opt to renew it for another 20 years.
I wasn't sure of that.
Yeah.
So I might have missed that the
And
last time.
eventually it ends up with the town ownership. And the town does not have to remove any of the panels, nothing like that. It was really a superb benefit for the town.
But it's a 40-year deal,
Yeah.
not a 20.
Well, yeah, I
Maybe.
mean, I get.
I was confused the last time. I thought it was a 20. I thought it was told, I thought I heard them say in 20 years this is going to be given to the town. I must have been wrong. I thought I heard that.
So, obviously, you'll be hearing more about this application towards the November timeframe. That's something that we want to talk about with you in terms of scheduling, but we'll do that under next meetings, I guess, or future agenda items. Because the applicant is looking for, to schedule a public meeting for the site plan review. So we'll get into the details in a little bit, but just getting back to the explanation language.
Yeah, what I suggest you do here, the first part I think is fine. It may be spot zoning. The next sentence says, if it's removed, it would render the overlay district radically undersized. And I'd stop right there. I don't think we need to get into recommending a legal action there. Just end it. It'll be undersized and delete the rest of it.
Okay.
I don't think we're up to the legal aspects of it.
Why does it have to say unlikely to pass muster with the Attorney General's office?
Well, because of, there's two reasons. One, there's recent case law that has, recently been decided related to the amount of solar that a municipality is able to zone for these types of developments. And our understanding is that we're undersized. And so if we don't have the appropriate zoning in place, it could jeopardize where future solar arrays could be placed based on the fact that we don't have it currently zoned for enough sites in town.
It's not like a safe harbor for solar you're talking about?
It's a loose analogy, but it's somewhat similar to that.
Yeah, why do we have to put that language in this decision?
Well, we definitely don't have to. So this is your
Yeah,
explanation.
I don't like that language.
Okay. So that's why I'm saying I need your help to craft what you would like to say to town meeting in your explanation. And you don't have to give me the exact words, but it sounds like you would like the petitioner, or you felt like it was important for a town meeting to have the ability to debate this.
Yes.
Okay? Ability to debate
And I would put that after the first sentence.
Okay. Did you want to say anything about the previous approval in June of '21 and, you know, this sort of current situation? Did you want to make reference to any of that at all?
You can, I would put in there that it was changed by town meeting vote in June of 2021, what it was changed to.
Okay.
Who the hell was chairman in June of '21? Might have been me, I'm just,
Could have been.
I was just making a
No,
joke.
it was
That was-
probably
it.
Charlotte.
I was just making a joke, I
Yeah,
thought it could have
but I
been
think
me.
it could have been Charlotte.
I was just joking, I
Not
don't.
sure the joke landed. So essentially what you want to say is you wanted town meeting to have the opportunity to debate this
Yes.
openly.
Yeah,
And maybe we just keep it at that.
yeah.
Yeah, let's
I
leave it
think
at
it'd be better keep it at that.
that. Simple.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that.
Let AI do it.
It's another version of I.
Now can we go to Zebra Sandwich Road?
Yes.
Oh, geez, that's a big package.
So
Excuse me.
I have 3 items to show you on the screen. We have the application. We have the site plan, and we have the architectural renderings. So this application, as you know, is a comprehensive permit with the Zoning Board of Appeals. It is for the development of 50 units, 50 residential units on 0 Sandwich Road. So I'm going to give you a sense of where that is to begin. So it's right next to the, I'm sure you can see it up on the screen, it's right next to the old Smithfield Farm, horse farm, right next to 809 Sandwich Road, which was a previous comprehensive permit that you folks reviewed not long ago. So that site is where my cursor is on the screen. This is 0 Sandwich Road, so it's a 14-acre plus or minus site, which they are proposing 50 residential units,
Who
which
is
will
the
be.
developer on this?
The developer on this is, well, Sandwich Road Housing LLC. The gentleman who appeared before the ZBA is named William Cumming, and they are represented by Matt Terry.
I am recusing myself.
Okay. So as you can see up on the screen, this is the proposed layout of the 50 units. So essentially shaped as, one might consider that to be somewhat of a cul-de-sac, Long Road in, and sort of this loop, which houses a number of units within 2 sections essentially. So you've got a landscaped area here, another landscaped area here where they propose to put the underground soil absorption system for the denaturfication system. This is essentially what the layout of the site looks like. The units themselves are shown on the screen. These
How
are
large is
the,
a parcel? How large is it? How large?
just over, or just under 15 acres.
15 acres, okay.
And again, 50 units, all of them will be age restricted to anyone 55 or over.
What?
20% of them will be affordable because they are home ownership units. And on page 6 of the application, which I'll show up on the screen for you, are the asking price or the sales price and the square footage breakdown. So you can see here.
So it's 20% instead of 25% is home ownership?
Correct.
Did that
20%.
change?
Nope. Nope. Not that I'm aware of.
I think probably did.
So as you can see, they're proposing 10 affordable units, and they're a mix of number of bedrooms as shown. Square footages range in the 1,800 square foot area. Sales prices are shown up on the screen, so anywhere between $119,000 to $130,000. The market rate units, as you can see, there's a lot more of those. And square footages are approximately the same. In fact, all of the units within the development are roughly the same. And the market rate sales price are dramatically higher. And like I said, these are the typical elevations, or at least the front elevations of the proposed units. The idea is to cluster them close together. Some of them will have, as you can see, the side garage. In fact, all of them, as shown up on the screen, will have that, but the architectural style sort of varies throughout the site.
This is the same group in the same place that we just looked at the 36?
Right next door. This is right next door.
It's next to it, so
Different group.
different group.
Different group,
It's your neighborhood.
Holy smoke.
Directly
And it-
next
And
door.
it's 55 and over?
55 and over.
I don't see how they can do that.
Where do they come out on Sandwich Road as in relationship to the other one, Jay?
Here, I'll show you.
Good
Please.
question.
And is it a driveway or is it a road they're putting in? I can't tell by the.
This is
Calling
a
it
driveway. Yep. There's Sandwich Road.
You know, why are we attracting older people that require all these services? And how is it I couldn't advertise for a roommate being 55 and not be sued?
Right.
And yet they can build a whole
Well,
developments?
one of the couple has to be 55 or older.
Yeah, still. I don't know how they get away with it. It's discrimination. I mean, it's out and out discrimination,
Technically allowed.
technically. I mean,
So here's the property itself. Entrance off of Sandwich Road is located approximately in the center. 809 Sandwich Road, they are proposing to utilize the driveway that's
driveway.
currently there.
What's the distance between the two?
Oh,
What
not
road
much.
is that?
This is Sandwich Road.
Just
Across
north of Sandwich Road coming.
here,
yeah, it's
Hatchville Road.
That's Hatchville.
And those are different developers?
Yes.
Different developers, yep. So approximate distance between the driveways is 220 feet. Approximate,
And this was all part of the Smithfield farm.
correct.
Well, there's another little road there too, Jed, that they were referring to.
That's
That
way
was
too
closer.
dense.
It was like 130 feet, I think. The one right across the road. You can see it going back.
Onto this property?
Yeah. Now, go forward. No, the other way. Okay, go straight across, and you can see that other little lane going back. Keep going. See? Keep going.
Yep.
Okay, straight across. You can see it kind of coming through
This-
trees or something. No. Straight across.
Yep.
Go down a little bit, titch. Yeah, see? Oh, you missed it again. You have to look further in.
So you're saying another access point to this property?
That's what, no, not to the property.
It's opposite. We're looking at
Oh, okay.
Opposite.
roads
Okay.
opposite.
Got it.
Yeah.
Road's opposite. All right. I thought you were referring to access on it. I'm
And
like,
they were saying, I
I'm not
think
seeing
that's like
that.
120 feet from what they're proposing their entrance.
Right, so
to be.
DaCosta Circle?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, so this is particularly close to this, as is the Hatchville Road.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously, they are asking for a waiver. So in your subdivision regs, you have to be 300 feet away from any intersecting street. There's no way they can accomplish this with Hatchville and DaCosta, so they're
Mm-hmm.
seeking a waiver from that.
They're also claiming that we're not in
Safe harbor?
safe harbor.
Correct. So there's a couple of things that you want to pay close attention to, in my opinion. First and foremost, as we've covered with other proposals, is the list of waivers that they are requesting. So on page Okay, it's the very end of the application, so I'll pull it up on the screen for everyone. So here's the beginning of their waiver request. So essentially, they're, first and foremost, they're asking for a waiver to allow for the development to happen because the base zoning doesn't allow for it. They are asking for the waiver of the dimensional requirements because that's only allowing one dwelling per single lot. They're importantly asking for a waiver from the requirement to obtain a special permit for a common driveway. So this would be, in fact, a driveway, not a street. So in my opinion, when you don't develop a street, you are essentially not held to the subdivision standards.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I can see that they put in the waiver requirement down below, that they would ask for a waiver from the subdivision requirements. But again, if you're not developing a street or subdividing the property, which they are not doing, then those would not come into play. But again, that's just my opinion. They are asking for a waiver from site plan review because, again, a comprehensive permit takes that into account. And then, of course, they're asking for a waiver of a particular component of the landscaping plan, which requires that they show all existing trees that are greater than 4 inches in caliber. And as I said, the remainder of the waivers are related to design standards of streets. So they're looking for a waiver from the minimum width requirement of 22, so they're proposing a 20-foot driveway, and then some offset centerline information, which again, in my opinion, would not be applicable because they're not developing a street. But likely just for belt and suspenders, they threw in some of those waivers. So, the point of tonight's agenda item is to hear your comments. We then put together a referral that articulates your thoughts, and we submit it to the Zoning Board of Appeals for the record.
Okay.
I'm happy to start off, because I had the benefit of picking this up and bringing it home with me, and I
Go
really
ahead.
looked at it. Okay, first of all, way too much. Have any of you taken a tape measure and decided what 15 feet looked like? These buildings, some of them are 15 feet apart. I did that. Some of them are 19 feet apart. Come on. I mean, this is California, and my kids have a concrete wall between, so they have some privacy, but you can still hear everything from your neighbor. Oh, and some of that 15 feet will be patio. This is ludicrous, the density of that. The other thing is, too, no, I wouldn't be in favor of giving them a waiver on the street width, because that's what this is. It's not a driveway. And if you're getting 55-year and older people in there, you gotta give them a little bit more room to drive. And I'm being sort of silly there, but no.
That's a good point.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're calling it a driveway. You're only gonna make it 20 feet wide. And, oh, by the way, we're gonna allow parking along the side of the street, too.
Yeah.
I picked that up from their description of it. All right. That's for starters. I don't know where the heck they're gonna expect to get $1 million for 4 of these units. In something that's like this? I don't think so. The affordable units, only one has 3 bedrooms. The rest have 2 bedrooms out of what they're offering. And you're supposed to be sort of indistinguishable? Come on.
So you make them all 3-bedroom?
Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
So am I hearing more 3-bedroom units? Is that what you're
I
saying?
think so for affordable, only one.
All 3-bedroom.
I don't care. If you want to put it as all, that's fine with me.
All the affordable units should be 3-bedroom.
Okay. All.
Okay. What else are they looking for here? What they're trying to do is smush some of these units together so they can get more units in. That's why you've got multifamily. Some of them are single, and then you've got the multifamily. And I don't know how many of the affordables are actually in the multifamily. I think all of them are, but I don't know.
What's inside that circle, 7 units
Inside the circle?
or rectangle?
Right in here,
1, 2.
7, yes.
7.
And one of the units is smushed.
Yeah, they should eliminate those. That should all be,
So eliminate the 7 units in the middle.
yes, it should all be available for walking your dog or letting your grandchildren come and play or
Okay?
recreation of some sort.
The whole thing, because you've got your septic treatments in both of those areas. And, oh, by the way, they can't park any kind of construction equipment over it while they're constructing because it'll compact it too much. So they're not going to be able to have proper leaching fields there, I suspect. And I'm not an engineer,
Well,
so I don't
that's
know
where the
that.
septic's going anyway, but.
Yeah, here
front
and
back,
here, okay?
But I think the whole area should be.
And they're gonna have force
green
main.
space.
Yeah, and then they're gonna have force mains all along here to get it to be treated.
Mhm.
Okay, force main, let's see. Where's the pump to force that? I don't see anything here. I see a house there.
Might be in the basement. I don't know.
I don't know. So each one of them has its own pump.
It could be. I don't know. I can't, the
Yeah, you're
details are so small.
you
I can't-
construct, so I can't,
I know, but I can't, the plans are too small to. look at.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it, so if there's a, so they've got a sewer line, but it doesn't appear that they show a pump.
I don't think they show a pump at all. They just show force main.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
You don't see a pump house anywhere.
No. Okay.
And John, I think, said you want all 7 of those units removed from where that green
Yes.
space is.
Correct. Yep. These guys
Okay, I
right
didn't know
here.
that you understood that, because I thought only the 2 smushed together ones. Now, I don't mind houses sharing one wall, but that, with only 15 feet in between or 19 feet in between?
How many affordable units do they have here, Jed?
10.
10?
10 affordable units, so,
Well, if they eliminate the 7 in the middle, I don't want to reduce the amount of affordable units.
Okay.
Still stay at 7.
Ooh, you're being tough on them,
Well, I
John.
don't know if it'll get approved or not.
I know.
keep the 10 affordable units.
Correct.
Yep. Okay.
But you see how, oh, they had 3.
That
They
gets
had
a-
1 3-bedroom and 9 2-bedroom units for
They-
affordable,
They should all be 3-bedroom.
okay?
What do you think of the square footage and the architectural style of the units?
Well, when you're asking that amount of money, that's not a lot of square footage.
Nope.
And that becomes their
They're
problem.
very
It's-
small.
It's not our problem, it's their problem.
But I
I like
do,
the design, but.
Yeah, the farmhouse sort
Yeah.
of look.
you like the design?
I like the design.
Okay.
It's a congenial farmhouse look.
Yeah, yeah.
The porches invite visiting with neighbors.
Okay. How about the square footage? I mean,
Way too small for that amount of money.
Well, we can't
Well,
dictate that.
But they gotta
Yeah.
make their own decisions on that.
yeah.
Square footage, though, 1,800, that's not that big a home.
Well, I ask because, it's one of those things that, we talked about before, about the starter home bylaw.
Yeah.
And, that cap at 1,800 square feet.
1,800 is fine.
You're like,
That's fine, but then you equate it to the prices they're asking, 900,000.
I don't care what they're asking. That's their, I mean, they got, they
If
have,
they can't get it, that's
They
their
have
problem.
People 55 and over are looking for starter homes?
they have $4 million
No,
here.
they're not.
They show $4 million
You're right.
for site work.
You're late
You're right.
bloomer. if you-
Yeah.
If you're looking for a starter home at 55.
now, my understanding is that the floor plans show that all of the units have a bedroom on the first floor and a bedroom on the second floor.
That's what they said.
So it's a type of a age-in-place.
But they do have some 3-bedroom units,
They do.
Mm-hmm.
so.
I haven't had an opportunity to look at the 3-bedroom to to see what that layout looks like.
Well,
but
we're
I'm-
just asking for the affordable ones to be 3-bedroom.
So, yeah, it looks like in a 3-bedroom layout, the 2 bedrooms would be upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. Access? Concerns about access?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It should be within 300 feet rule,
Okay.
and it's not.
Yeah. No, there isn't one waiver that I'd be willing to give.
No, that's a dangerous area there. We mentioned it on the other place,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to the waivers because
especially all seniors pulling out of there.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
I don't recall them noting the 300-foot.
I don't think they did.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yep.
Fair.
Yeah, they mentioned
Oh, down there,
Okay.
a waiver from that.
So not in favor of that waiver.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of any of them. I'm not in favor of 55 and over either.
Okay. How about the rest of the board?
So why?
Yeah.
Is that a board comment, not in favor of 55?
Yeah, I agree with that.
What we're
Okay.
trying to do is develop community living,
Right,
Okay.
a mix of ages.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's actually discriminatory.
it
Yeah.
is. It blows my mind that it's allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, if these are going to be reasonably priced houses for people that need to move here because they provide a service to the
Right.
town, I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah.
that'd be a different story, but,
But 900,000 is not reasonably priced.
no, but,
So I want to walk through the waivers and just make sure that I'm clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first waiver that, essentially asks to allow for multiple units, well, they say 60, they're proposing 50. Are you okay with that? And not necessarily the quantity of the number of units, but the waiver to allow for more than just multifamily in that district?
I'm not in favor.
I'm sorry, it's not even allowed multifamily.
No, it's not allowed.
To allow multifamily
No,
within that district.
I'm not in support of that.
You do not support that?
No.
Well, the multifamily is the squishing of them, of 2
Right.
units together.
Right.
No, it really calls for 10 or 12 houses, that's what it calls for.
So waiver 1 is a no.
And even then, the road would be over 500 feet long, they'd have a hard time.
Yeah,
Okay.
One way in, one way out.
yeah.
I'm assuming our waiver number 2, which is the
Yep.
not more than one
No.
dwelling,
No on that.
that's a no. Use table, the common driveway, allow them to waive that special permit,
No.
No, it should be a road,
Yeah.
okay? So you'd be looking for a road?
yes.
Road standards.
Yeah,
Okay.
22 feet, drainage.
Okay?
Don't get to wave us off.
Okay. And then the landscape, sounds like a no as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be specific, they're just looking at identifying all the existing trees that are
Yeah.
larger than 4 inches.
Well, they're
caliber.
saying essentially, if we're gonna just denude the whole lot so we can do this, then why should we even bother wasting time identifying the 4-inch caliper?
Okay.
Because that's what they're planning on doing.
All right, so let me phrase this in a different way. Are there any waivers that you're in favor of?
No.
No.
Okay, very good.
No. You guys? No? Yes? No?
I'm in agreement. Yeah, I think it's way too dense.
It's way.
Looking at it, and it looks like there's a sewer force main at the beginning,
Right.
and then it splits it, about 25 units go to one system,
It's out of line. Look at-
25 to another.
Yeah,
Way out of line.
And it's really, really tight. I think the access of Sandwich Road is a problem.
Yep.
And I think the parking is a problem, because it looks like there's only one vehicle, and there's no other way to park anything anywhere.
Well, there's a garage, and then there's the driveway to go to
Correct.
the garage. So you're giving 2 parking spots per unit.
Two
And,
per
oh,
unit.
you can park along the street, too.
Is there anything else, Jed?
That's in the verbiage.
I'm not seeing anything, I mean, so to Pat's point, and it's worth pointing out, there is a garage, there's a driveway, and then there are what appear to be parking spaces in these little bump out areas.
Well, They go to 22 feet of pavement, it might be a little easier for them.
Yeah, but
Okay.
20 feet of pavement, no.
20 is not acceptable. No.
So in terms of the number of parking spaces, do we feel like there should be more, or have they adequately provided enough parking for each unit? So essentially, you'd have two spaces, one in the garage, one in the driveway.
What's the overflow for?
Way too dense.
Visitors.
Yeah, I think if they have overflow, they're fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think you find a lot of the residents parking there because they're locked into their garage.
Right, but at 22 feet, you can park and drive around them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you wouldn't need the bump outs, is what you're saying?
Yeah, you could just drive right around them.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, very good. Thank you.
Don't you have to go home?
At some point.
Yeah, I haven't had supper yet.
Let's keep it rolling here.
Bill went out to get a hamburger.
They got a big air filter out there, so it makes it impossible to hear what's
Oh,
going
yeah.
on in the meeting. You used to be able to stand outside the door and can hear, now it drowns out everything.
All right, next thing on the agenda is the planning report, planning
Things
department report.
Things are relatively the same. The one item I do want to bring you up to speed on is, it's a bit of bad news. So, you know how we applied for the grant to update our local comprehensive plan? We were denied. We did not receive funding for that. So.
Who's that applied to?
One Stop for Growth. So that is, as you know, the state's sort of catch-all for all the state grant opportunities. So you enter in and they give you a bucket of different areas that you can apply to. So unfortunately, we were denied. So I'm going to start looking at other opportunities, potentially. I will, the commission, I will try to research other grant opportunities that we missed. And ultimately, if we're not successful in those two avenues, we can either come to town meeting as a capital request, or we can apply to the One Stop for Growth program again next year. But that, we recently received that notification, I think it was last week, that we were denied. So, bad news, for sure. But other than that, I don't have much to report other than, you know, what we've been working on for the last couple of months.
Okay, thank you. Any committee reports?
No.
No, I have one for the Cape Cod Commission. On Thursday at 3 o'clock, we're going to meet in person and vote on the new and improved regional policy plan that they've been working on for about a year.
Great.
So that's all I know. Announcements? Any birthdays, any?
I have a question for Jed. Did you get an email from me requesting the definition of safe harbor?
I remember an email about Safe Harbor.
Because I have a real serious concern that we're not in it, and you, as well as many other people, keep saying we're in safe harbor. And I don't think we are, but I'm not an expert on it. I have a feeling we're not. But I think we need to clarify that.
Who could he talk to find out?
Well, so it's important to understand that an applicant has challenged the ZBA on their stance that we are in safe harbor. So I can't talk about any of that. That's an active litigation with the town, so.
But isn't there a definition of what safe harbor is?
There
That's all
is.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay, I can send you the definition from the guidelines.
And there's also a list of developed properties that put us into safe harbor.
Correct, yes.
And you can provide me with that.
Yes, yep.
And I can answer my own question.
Any future agenda items?
So, one of the items I wanted to talk to you about was the applicant for the Cape Cod Country Club solar array. They recently reached out to ask if the board would be available on the November 25th meeting date so that they could be placed on that agenda. Originally, we were going to put them on the 4th of November, but they would prefer to be on the 25th. And so I wanted to make sure that everyone's going to be available for that meeting. We did previously talk about generally folks would be available, but I wanted to confirm before we place them on the agenda.
What is that, 2 days before Thanksgiving?
2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
And what is this?
I thought we weren't
Is
gonna
this
meet
a
on
site
that
plan?
We weren't going to meet on the Veterans Day
Okay.
holiday week, so we moved that meeting date, but the 25th seemed to be okay for everybody.
Is it a site plan review?
Correct, site plan review.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys good with that?
Yep.
Yep.
And ladies? Yes?
Great.
You
Okay.
can call me Guy, I don't
No,
care.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
I may not be available on the 4th.
On November 4th? Okay.
I have a procedure that day, but if I make it, I'll come.
I'll take a closer look at the agenda, because if we can close business out on the 28th, we may not need the November 4th meeting. So we might be okay, but it depends on the number of applicants that are before us. As, right now, things are a bit crazy in my head, so I've got to look at that more carefully to make sure. So I'll be in touch.
All right, any general correspondence?
None received.
Okay. Next meeting is potentially November 4th, 2025.
October 28th.
October 28th.
October
It's right here,
28th.
November.
He said it was a
I know what it
mistake.
says.
Oh, come
He
on.
already corrected it.
I know.
Why
Okay.
making me look bad?
The
Move to
rest of the
adjourn.
agenda was perfect, except for that one.
Okay.
I move adjournment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.